Welcome to Semple Stadium. Here we're live as Drom Inch take on Upperchurch here in this second round of the Tipperary Senior Hurling Championship. Both teams lost their first day out. Drom Inch were beaten by Thurles Sarsfield and Upperchurch were beaten in the last second of the game by Anacarty, a point coming in there. So both of them are desperate for a win today. Really need to get probably 2 wins to get out of the group these days. Speaking of games, I suppose, and teams who needed wins, last night here in Semple Stadium under lights we had an absolute cracker as Kilruane McDonough's took on Borrisoleigh. If you didn't get a chance to see that, we'll have a treat in store for you, because right now we're going to bring you the best bits. So back from that, we'll have full live action from Drom Inch versus Upperchurch.
Puck out this time from the Kilruane keeper, breaking in front of the half forwards. It's gathered and it's hit in and over the bar, but now it's Conor Kenny this time, feeds it outside him now, back to Jerry Kelly. Jerry Kelly across the goals.
What a difference it makes for any team.
Here we go, breaking ball now. Kilruane win their puck out here and they're on the attack here through Mark O'Neill. Mark O'Neill hits this one in, hits it high.
Free for Kilruane.
Borrisoleigh, short one this time, out as far as Kieran Maher. Kieran Maher, short puck out and it's one back and hit over the bar. Cahill, but it is Kilruane who win it back again, and Cleary comes on the attack this time. Thomas Cleary sailing in here and he puts this one over the bar. Attack now. Warped ball inside, but it's gathered there by Cleary. Cleary turns and Cleary fires it high. Push forward their lead here in this game. 7 points for Kilruane. Stout with the ball and they're winning all the 50-51s right now. Craig Morgan hits it in. Long. Oh, what a point. Niall just feeds it on again here, this time on to Kevin Maher. Kevin Maher just takes a slight blow there. Kilruane take the ball and it's hit in high and over the bar.
It's there by Mark O'Neill. That's Mark O'Neill's second point from play. He's having a very positive influence on the game here for Kilruane.
And they're coming on the attack once more, and it's Seamus Hennessy who was trying to work some bit of magic here. They've fed the ball back to Brendan Maher. Long one now, it's dropping short inside. Little flick, and it's a goal for Borrisoleigh. JD in the right place at the right time.
The way the wind was holding it up, but how well it worked out for Borrisoleigh. That
hopping ball the other
end
now, and it's in the back of the net. 2 goals within a minute here. Dropping inside there on top of Keano Kelly. Keano Kelly trying to gather it. Now it's Cleary. Cleary has it, and Cleary pops it over the bar. The keeper gathers this, feeds it outside, past the 45 here. It's gathered again by Eddie Ryan this time. Eddie Ryan slats it back in. Here we go, strikes this ball. It's going to have the distance, and it's accurate as well. Going in for it here. It's gathered in there now, though, by the other Kenny, and that being Connor. It's fed outside now, long ball in, and it's Jerry Kelly. Jerry Kelly coming on the attack here now, and Jerry Kelly has buried it. Here now as far as Jerry Kelly, coming on the attack now, in as far as Conor Kenny, and Conor Kenny fires over the first point. Gathers lovely ball by Kevin, feeds it inside him here, and away come Borrisoleigh on the attack here. Soloing inside here, it's Eddie Ryan, and Eddie Ryan.
A blatant free in my view.
Ball breaks free now. Kilruane coming on the attack down the field here now. It's Keano Kelly. Keano Kelly soloing in here now and hits this one in and over the bar. Possession momentarily, and it's won back by Eddie Ryan. Eddie Ryan hits this one in all the way in, and Eddie Ryan does well, gathers that ball now, feeds it inside. Borrisoleigh coming on the attack here. It's Jerry Kelly. Jerry Kelly. The middle now, McAdams just with a low little hopping ball in front of Cahill. Cahill, long one here, and it's hit in by Jerome Cahill that hits it back up the field, up towards the forwards here. Gathered by Keano Kelly. Keano Kelly on the run, and he fires it over. Ryan goes to take on his man and goes by James Cleary and slots this one in and over the bar. Hits it over his head there just inside, and Kilruane somehow holding onto the ball in there. It's Cahill breaking through. Jerome Cahill, angle ball across, and it's a goal now.
Fez Hennessy was not going to miss from there. He's a really powerful striker of the ball.
2:17-11. Borrisoleigh come back on the attack. This ball hit in a difficult angle over. Strikes this one high all the way in. It's caught in there, and Boris come on the attack, and it's fired in, but it's just over the bar. The attack here, it is Burke. Burke feeds it over the far side. Jerry Kelly sprinting to meet it. First time. It's broken free, and once more it's Kevin Maher. Kevin Maher coming through. Kevin Maher. A brilliant save by Doherty, and the ball breaks outside.
You know, Kevin Maher took a shot that was probably ambitious, but was a really good save.
Here, a lot of experience here. Brilliant ball over the far side. Where they go, it's Kilruane McDonough's Mark O'Neill with the point.
By Niall O'Mara. that chap, Mark O'Neill, didn't have to break stride.
Here we go, play down the other end now, and it's won by Boris Ali, and away they go. And now kicks it out, makes a bit of room for himself. It's Cleary again, taking on Burke, and away he goes, taking on Brendan Maher this time, and he slats it over the bar. Now just feeds it inside. Brendan with a little flick on inside, in as far as Conor Kenny. Wow. Conor Kenny on the run. Away, feeds it outside to Paddy Williams. Paddy Williams outside him now to Jack Peters. Jack Peters on again to James Cleary. James Cleary on the run. Is it again now, JD on the run now, feeds it inside to Eddie Ryan. Eddie Ryan soloing in, three of them after him. Eddie Ryan slats it in, and it's over the bar. Now out to Jerome Cahill. Cahill now has it, feeds it on again here. Kilrowan trying to work it into a scoreable one here, and it is Hennessy, and Hennessy.
Brendan will take the point.
So it's 29 points against 26, and he just slats it over the crossbar. It is Kilrowan though who have it, and Mark O'Neill feeds it outside him onto Hennessy. A long one all the way in.
What a score.
Here we go, Bursley coming in the attack. JD comes in. Oh, brilliant save by Conor Doherty. And hits this one in, breaking inside, in around the D now, hopping ball in there. It's loose inside, Bursley have it. It's just, it's just out, and it's gone wide. Eddie Ryan with the final play. The net shook, but it was the outside of the post.
Hello and welcome back to Semple Stadium. What a game that was last night. Bursley, Kilruan, McDonald's. We had 2 games on Friday night since the start of the Tipperary Senior Hurling Championship, and both of them have been absolute crackers in fairness. And we're hoping we'll get an equally good game today with Drom Inch against Upperchurch Drombane. Both teams come off a loss in the first round, so both teams badly need a win today. We're going to have a look at the team. There have been a lot of late changes, a lot of big numbers coming over in 15. We'll have a quick look at them there, starting with Drom Inch. They're wearing green with white trim today. So in goals there we have Owen Collins. Now a few of these numbers you'll be like, well, they play up in the forwards, but this is as we have them. They may move around positions, and we expect a lot of them will. Number 27 there, Larkin Campion, is in at cornerback. Kevin Hassett is full, and 23, David Butler, comes in there for Colm Canan. Now, as we know ourselves, David Butler looks like he'll more than likely play in the forwards. That is the information we have at the moment. Stephen Nolan, then number 18, is in for number 5, Mikey Fitzpatrick. Pod Campion is number 6, and Tony Cahill, number 19, is in there at wing back in place of Paul Bergen. Midfield, we have Emmett Maloney and Jamie Maloney. And then into the forwards, Johnny Ryan, Robbie Long and Fintan Purcell make up their half-forward line. And the inside line then is John Campion, Shamie Callanan, who's captain of the team, and David Collins. Moving on to Upperchurch Drombane there, they'll be wearing black and orange, their traditional colours. In goals, they've got Kieran Short. Their full-back line is Jared Grant, Matt Ryan and Niall Grant. Number 17 there, Niall Grant, coming in as a late change. Their half-back line, Colm Ryan, Gavin Ryan and Ailbhe O'Donoghue even. The midfield, Dean Carew and Aaron Ryan, and then up front we have another late change coming in there. Jack Butler with number 19 is coming in there at number 10 instead of number 10, Diarmuid Grant. Their full centre forward is Paul Shanahan, and in the other wing is number 12, Paul Ryan. And their full forward line has 2 late changes, with number 20, Keith Ryan, coming in at the corner. The number 14, Colm Stapleton, is replaced by number 21, Luke Shanahan, and number 15, Pádraig Green, the team captain, is in there in the other corner. I'm joined in the commentary box today by Dennis Kelly. Dennis coming off the back of a great year with the Tipperary Camogie team, which we might talk about soon. But just looking at the 2 teams there and looking at all the changes, what are you expecting from today's game, Dennis?
We're expecting a nice close game. Neighbouring parishes there, both in the midsection. And look at this is, I could hear him saying there, there's no back doors after today. It's all, we have to go through the front door from now on. So look at, both teams are under a bit of pressure to get the 2 points in the bag. And look at, it promises to be a great game.
Absolutely. We talked about how important a win is today. If you look at last year's championship, you had to get 4 points. 4 points was the minimum anyone got out of their group in. Both of these now are coming in on 0. They've only 2 games left. There's only a possibility of getting to 4. Like, how important is a win today?
Oh, it's massive. You know, look at it. It's if you lose today, your year is basically qualifying for a quarter final is out the window, and you're looking maybe down the nose of a relegation. So look at this is massive. Both teams will know that. You know, so they're going to go at it hammer and tongs. There's changes all over the place. They look like they have, some of the under-20s from Tipp and that are coming in, and ex-under-20 and 21 players. So they're really throwing everything at it, both teams. It'll be hard to judge who's playing where for a little while. We'll do our best, but look at it, promises to be a big game.
Yeah, looking at the couple of changes there, we were talking a little bit about it off air. A few of the younger lads coming in have minor experience with Tipp and things like that. Who, I suppose, caught your eye there of those late changes?
Well, I see Stevie Nolan has come in. He would have won a Harty Cup with Templemore back a few years ago. So he'll probably operate around the middle of the field. Tony Cahill has great experience underage with Tipperary minors as well. So he's come in. He'll surely go up front along with David Butler for Drom. Keith Ryan on the other side then. He's definitely going to go into the back line. He was full back for the 20s. Surprisingly, he hadn't been playing up to now. And he'll definitely have an impact in the defence for Upperchurch. Jack Butler comes in as well. He's a good, strong player. And also Luke Shannon. So both teams introducing the younger lads today. I suppose Semple Stadium too is a place where they can flourish.
And we'll pause for Ron Naveen. Both teams now getting into position, as we said before. A lot of changes personnel-wise just before throw-in here, so we'll see how they line up. We'll talk about that in a couple of seconds once things get settled down. Dennis will give us the rundown on that. But as I said, a big game for both teams. Both teams really need to win. Drom Inch had a very slow start the last day out against Thurles. They were 3-3 to no score down after 8 minutes, so they know how important it is to get out of the blocks quickly here. They're expecting big things. David Butler is someone we saw a lot of in last year's championship. He finished with 4-5 from 5 games. A big man around the edge of the square can cause lots of damage, so you'd imagine to be trying to get the ball into him as quickly as possible. We're just waiting here. The referee is getting the signal from the goalie. I think he's ready to go. He's just about right, and here we go. The ball is thrown in straight away. It's Drom Inch onto the attack, trying to make a quick start, and straight away they've won a free right into the play. Straight away there was James Maloney wins himself a free, and they'll be eager to get the scoreboard ticking over here.
Yeah, it's free straight away, Jamie. Very strong there. Won the ball from the throw in and blasted through and got his free straight away. So Shamey's trotting out now to get the ball just on the midfield mark there. So it looks like he usually slots these ones.
You would expect a player of Shamey's calibre to put this one over fairly easily. He's between the 265s, goes through his usual routine of kind of nodding at the ball a few times, looking at the post, going through whatever mental preparation he's going through. Coming up on about 40 seconds gone here. Here comes Shamey. Goes pretty low with that one. Maybe a bit of grass and a bit of wetness all kind of took the trajectory out of that, but it went between the posts, and that's the main thing, and that's his first score today. And Drom Inch's first score of the day, quickly taken there by Short in the the Upperchurch goal. He hits it out around 65, well taken out there. They do well with that. It's back as far as O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue goes across the field diagonally into the corner, looking up there, trying to get Drom Inch into this game. But is it controlled? Second time around, Upperchurch hold on to this one. They've getting it, but the ball is stuck to the ground. It rained maybe for half an hour or so before this match started, and it does seem to have had an effect. The ground is very slippery and greasy as it's been dry for so long. The bit of rain has made it greasy, but Upperchurch are back in possession of the ball, driving forward there. It looked like it was Paul Shannon. Bit of a rugby tackle came in there, and it's going to be a free in from about 45 yards out. Yeah, lovely from Paul Shannon there. He won the puck out there previously, and he carried there. He knew what he was about, straight at the Drom Inch goals, and he was pulled to the ground. So this should be a tap over here. It looks like Paddy Green's going to take this one. Paddy Green standing over this one now. He got 6 points in total the last day out. 4 of them were from frees, and this is a fairly central one, and he has no problem at all with that one, and he puts that over the bar, and we're all square here again, a point apiece. As we're going to restart with a puck out there from Collins. Collins goes down this near side. A couple of players go for it, but it comes to an Upperchurch man. The Upperchurch man plays that inside into the full forward in there, looking inside there to get it as far as Shannon. Tried to get one of the players inside there, was turned over there by Campion of Drom Inch. He tries to come out. A lot of kind of players around that ball, not letting anyone out too easy. And Upperchurch look like they've got onto that one again, struggled to get it up, but it looks like it's Shanahan who has it now. Shanahan falls, hand pass that outside into a bit of space, and the shot comes in, brilliant block there, or hook even by James Maloney. The shot looked like it was coming in there by Green, well hooked and blocked. but it's still a lot going over there. And Drom Inch are happy with that one. A lot of fist bumps going on there. They managed to work hard and win themselves a free in.
Yeah, that's huge from Upperchurch there. Now they stopped the drum backs coming out. Shannon has had a major start there, and I think it's a bit of a curveball. He started in the corner, which is usually centre is his position, and it'll take Drum a little while to come to terms with him, but he's done untold there for the first couple of minutes.
Absolutely. Here's Green now. He's about 3 or 4 yards inside his own 45, about 7 or 8 in from the touchline. He has one already today. Goes low again with this one, kind of a nonchalant style, and it goes to the left and wide, and that's Upperchurch's first wide of the day. Not the easiest free, and under these conditions, I suppose we'll leave him off with that one because he has scored one already today, and he'll be eager to get another one. 3 minutes gone here, still a point apiece. Drom Inch 1 point, Upperchurch Drombane 1 point. The ball goes very long down, but it looks like it's going to be read there by Gavin Ryan over there by Upperchurch, but it beats everyone to it. It's gone out of play and it's going to be quickly taken over there. Is it? No, he decides to give himself a minute, and Upperchurch are going to have time to reorganise themselves as Drum take this sideline about 30 yards out. It's chipped in, looking for Shamie Canlon. Shamie Canlon brushes off his man, and there is danger here. It's pulled on. The Drom Inch man pulled on that late. The ball kind of stuck in the ground, and it was an easy save in the end.
Yeah, no, Stevie, he could have he had time to take that on his hurley and stick it in the back of the net. A weak effort to finish up.
Shamie Callan had done well, held off his man and left it in for Nolan, but he just couldn't make a proper connection and send it to the net. The ball has worked its way out again between the 45 and the 65, and it's going to be a free now, a free to Upperchurch Drombane. It's going to be quickly taken. They go short with it, try to work it out there through Paul Ryan. Paul Ryan is over the 65, gives a low ball inside, looking for Green it was, but Green doesn't manage to get to it, and Matt Ryan might be on the back of it there, but Shamie Callan now of Drummond, or it's not Shamie Callan I should say, of course it's Matt Cassett back there, gives a lovely hand pass outside, and Campion eventually clears that down. The ball is going long. Is it going over the crossbar? Yes, it is. A good score there by Drom Inch.
Great score. Podge Campion busted out with that. He's gone back in on Shanahan inside Paul Shanahan. There'll be a right tussle for the rest of the day.
Pick puck out here now by Short. He goes in around midfield, it drops to the square, drops to the ground even, and who is on it now? Only Collins lays that off outside, still on the ground, still hassling, harrying. No one really has this. The ball has been on the deck a lot, it's been stuck to the ground in a lot of cases, and now they've managed to work it out again. Upperchurch Drombane, and they win themselves a free over there through Keith Ryan. It's going to be quickly taken. Keith takes it himself, or should I? Yeah, he takes it long into the corner there. Pod Campion does very well, but the referee says he had his hands all over the Upperchurch man, and it's going to be a free in.
Yeah, there was a bit of manhandling going on there in the corner, all right. So that's proven to be the tussle so far there. The two boys are, Paul Shanahan seems to be the man that Upperchurch are targeting in there. He's gone in there for a reason, and they're hitting a lot of ball in his direction.
So it's going to be another free now, a free for Upperchurch Drombane, I should say. It's of course Pádraig Green going to take this one again. He has won already, the team captain, stepping over this one. As we said, he had 6 the last day, hoping to do it equally well today. He got 4 of those 6 from play. Here he goes, 21 yards out, fairly handy for him. He missed the last one, but there is no bother at all with this one. And now we have all square again, 2 points apiece.
Yeah, Paul Shannon for me is the man that is making Upperchurch tick at the moment. We'll see how this goes. A long one down to half forward line.
Dropping out there, and the few players go for that. David Collins is trying to get his hands on it, but it is a drum man who has it. It looks like it's Johnny Ryan. Johnny Ryan goes back. They're starting to build here. The shot eventually comes in. Good shot from, looks like it was Campion again who got the last one. This one goes to the left. It drops slightly short. There's a few fellas fighting for it. I think Butler was in there, but it goes wide.
Yeah, a little bit ambitious from Podge Campion. He could have probably fed the full forward line there.
Pucked out there again, it's dropping around to 45, between 45 and 65. Paul Ryan of Upperchurch went up for it, doesn't get it, but it goes back as far as Colm Ryan. Colm Ryan gives it a diagonal ball in on the edge of the D. Couple of fellas fighting for that one. No one has it just yet, but the Upperchurch man now has it, turns, shoots, puts that up and puts that one over the crossbar, shortened up the hurley, beat his man and put it over the bar.
Yeah, it looked like Jack Butler is in on the brow of the square there, and he's really strong there. He's going to have another tussle with Kevin Hassett, but he has a bit of strength on Kevin. And it's coming from Paul Shannon is recycled that ball again, ball in, and good score from Jack Butler.
And we're stopped here now for a minute. There's Drom Inch man getting a bit of attention over there. Hopefully it's not too serious. Looks like it's his ankle. His ankle seems to be getting a bit of the magic spray, and hopefully it'll be okay to play on. Coming up on 7 minutes gone here. It's Upperchurch 3, it's Drom Inch 2, it's been a fairly lively start. Both teams starting to settle, I suppose. The ball has been on the deck a lot. No team really getting in control of this one just yet.
No, not yet. No, it's making for interesting viewing though.
The ball is dropping now again over on the far side of the field. Again, it's not won cleanly in the air, but it's Drom who come away with this one. They're over the 45, driving forward. Here's Maloney. He's on to the 21. Gives good ball outside, still on the attack here. The shot comes in. Well saved there. A real chance of a goal there for Drom. The shot came in from their number 19 over there, Tony Cahill, but it was well saved. It was a nice height and straight at the goalie in the end, but he still had to save it. And it's pucked out down the field again, all the way back down as far as Kevin Hassett of Drom Inch. He gets a touch on that. There's a couple of players on his back. Doesn't manage to get it up the first time. And Upperchurch turn it over. They're coming out here again between the 45 and the 65. Turning left and right. Taking too many steps, I think the referee decided, but there was a real goal chance down there a few minutes ago.
Oh, huge goal chance. What a save from Kieran Short there. Tony Cahill probably could have went low. It was a great move. Stevie Nolan involved, and he passed it to Jamie Maloney, and they cut right through the defence there, the centre of it. But Tony, you know, he's only a young lad starting, so look, it was a great shot, great save from Kieran Short.
And now we're going to have a free. Shamie Callan has come all the way back into his own half. He's about 75 yards out, maybe reminiscent of Bubbles' one back in the 2014 final, but this one isn't as central as that one was that day. He's a long way out, but he has the breeze at his back, and he looks confident to step it up on this one. It's definitely going to have the distance. Is it going to have the accuracy? The umpires have a long look at that, and they wave the white flag. Good score from Shamie.
Yeah, that's a huge score from his own half there. Now that'll definitely help Drom settle into this game.
And he made it look so easy. He could hit another 20 or 30 yards, it almost looked like. Pucked out there again by Short. It's dropping well read there by the drum man. Johnny Ryan now has it. Johnny Ryan goes across the field. He's looking for Butler over there. Butler is sprinting, scarpering as fast as he can over to that, but he doesn't get it, and it's Upperchurch to come away with it, giving a little short pass outside, working it out there was Keith Ryan. Keith Ryan gives it up the field again, and it's working its way into the full forward line of Drom Inch. A man maybe got a bit of a belt there on the head. The referee says play on. There's no issue there, and it's Drom who come away with it again. Now the referee decide to call it back as the Upperchurch man is on the ground over there on the far side of the field. I think he might have get a smack on the head as he was going for that one, and we're going to have a pause in play now again. Yeah, the
Upperchurch crowd in the stand at the far side there, new stand, they're not one bit happy with that. But look, at both players went for it strong. I didn't see a whole lot in it. I think it's Jack Butler is down there again, but he's having a good old fight there with Kevin Hassett in the full forward. He's full forward, Kevin is full back. So they're playing, Upperchurch seem to be playing a two-man full forward line. So it's Butler and Paul Shanahan inside, and they're marking Podge Campion and Kevin Hassett. So it's real ding-dong stuff.
Coming up on 10 minutes gone in this one, 3 points apiece. So this one, it's been a lot closer maybe than some people thought. I suppose Drom Inch were probably the favourites going into this one. Upperchurch played Anacarty last week and only lost in the very last second, but then again Drom Inch were up against Thurles, who are absolutely flying it this year. Like how good are Thurles, did you think, that day?
Yeah, Thurles were very good, but you know, Drom never started at all. They never got out of the blocks, and they were only kind of trying to keep the score down for a finish up. They caught up all right, but it was kind of game over. They never really looked like winning that game. Whereas on the other side, Upperchurch would have expected to beat. They would have expected to beat Aero Anacarty. Maybe, you know, Tom Fox out with a broken jaw as well, so maybe they took that a little bit for granted. So they were licking their wounds after that one, but they'll be hoping to get back on track today.
They sure will, because a win today would be crucial for both sides and both starts their season. We're in play again. John Campion was all the way back in his own corner back position, lays the ball outside, and the shot eventually comes in from Fintan Purcell from about 80 yards out. That one is accurate, and that one goes over the crossbar. That was a fantastic score.
Huge score. 1-2 with John Campion there, and bang over the bar. Great score.
They're both wearing high numbers, 12 and 13, but they're both playing back in the half-back line. But it was a good score and well worked between them. The ball is pucked out, then again took a couple of deflections and goes out of play, and it's going to be an Upperchurch line ball between the two 65s. It's going to be O'Donoghue who has it now. He tells Colm Ryan to go away. I'm going to take this one, and he goes right in between two 65s on this near stand side of the field. It's a long way out to attempt to score, so I can't imagine he's going for that. No, he goes short down along the sideline. Nice one inside. Runs beautifully there for a couple of the Upperchurch forwards, but it's a Drom Inch man who manages to read that fastest, and he comes out all the way back there. The man we mentioned a minute ago, John Campion, but he's lost it. It's turned over, and it's Upperchurch now inside the 21. Here comes the shot. The shot goes high. There was a goal chance. The shot came in high there from Paul Ryan. He's about 8 or 9 yards out, but he gets his score. But maybe a chance of a goal.
But you know, Campion coming out with the ball, John. He's playing at centre back there, maybe overdone it a little bit, carried into trouble, was turned over, and Upperchurch to be happy with that point, but it could have been a goal.
11 and a half minutes gone, and it's 4 apiece here. As we said, both teams have had goal chances, but both goalkeepers still have their clean sheets intact. And now it's Owen Collins now of Drum with the puck out. He goes very long, looking for Shamey Callan, who's gone over by the far side. Shamey doesn't get to it though, and it looks like it's Keith Ryan over there who has it now. He's fighting and Hashlin and harrying, and Shamey ends up having to foul him because the ball wasn't coming out there. Keith Ryan did well, and it's going to be a free out. Quickly taken. Again, they go down here looking for Shanahan inside the Upperchurch full forward line. Doesn't run to him, but Upperchurch still managed to hold on to it. They're going here through Butler. Butler's a big strong man, turns on his right hand side, gets a bit of space, and he puts that one between the sticks, and another good score from Upperchurch.
Great score from Jack Butler there. You know, he has the bit of power there inside, and he's using it, and he's linking up well with Shanahan. But Keith Ryan is doing well on the half back line for Upperchurch there as well.
That's 2 points there for Butler inside there in that full forward line. Now Upperchurch are back in possession of this ball again. They work it down along this near side of the field, working it there through the man Pádraig Green, who has 2 points already from both from frees. He gives that inside. Upperchurch holding on to possession, held here. Green again from a difficult off an angle from far enough out. He has 2 from frees. Now he has 1 from play.
Yeah, but Upperchurch are starting to kick on now a little bit. A lovely 1-2 with Niall Grant there, and over the bar again. You know, they're definitely getting on top here at the moment. You know, Drum will have to try and get back into this game.
6 points to 4 in favour of the Church, coming up on 13 minutes. 6 points to Upperchurch, 4 points to Drom Inch, and it's pucked out there again. Again, it's dropping down long on top of David Collins of Drum. He puts a hand in it, but doesn't manage to get possession. Then it's Johnny Ryan of Drum working hard to try and win this one. He does, plays that one over his shoulder into space, looking for Shamey Callan inside. Shamey has 2 men on him, or wasn't Shamey, it was David Collins in fact. David Collins does well though. He gets a bit of help there from Robbie Long. Long is working hard. Upperchurch are also working hard. Eventually it's a free in. Wasn't a huge amount in that, but Drum will take that free all day long.
Soft enough free, but good work from Robbie Long there. You know, he was playing on the backs last year. Like, you could flip Drum's team from last year to this year to backs and forward positions and forwards and back position. But look, he worked well there. Not sure what the free was for, but they'll take it because they needed a score there.
Absolutely. This is about 21 yards out. You'd imagine Shamey will put this one over with his eyes closed. It's still 4 points to 6. His team are down by 2 points. Drom Inch now 4 points in this game. Here he comes. He goes low enough with this one, but enough to put it over the bar, and that's his third, and that puts them up to 5. He has scored 3 of them. Fintan Purcell has a point, and Podge Campion has a point. So they'll be hoping to spread around a few more scores. Upperchurch come out with this one now. Wow, well read there by the Drum defence. I think it was Campion who's back there again. Laid it on to Johnny Ryan. Johnny Ryan put his body on the line, but he doesn't manage to control the ball, and he's conceded a line ball to Upperchurch. They're going to take this one now between the 265s. Or no, it's gone the other way. The referee, I think, may have overruled the linesman there, and Shamey Callan it's coming all the way out to take this one in between the 65s. He looks like, he's taking it, and it's actually going to be a free. Is that what was the decision?
Yeah, there's looks like a free there for maybe pushing the back. There's a bit of aggro on the sideline there, and Robert is down there telling everyone to calm down. And Shamey now is looking at the post again.
Shamey's just inside the 65. Not an easy angle. He's only about 3 or 4 feet in from the sideline. He has 3 already today. He goes for this one. Again, it looks to be drifting to the left and wide, and that's another wide from Drom Inch that they could have done without. They need to keep the board ticking here. They're 1 point down, but it wasn't an easy one at the same time.
No, and his connection sounded poor there, so look at it, it's gone out to the wide now, and it's back in play again.
And here we go, we're up down the other end of the field. Fintan Purcell has the ball again. As we said, he has 12 in his back, but he's way back in the half back position. That looks like where he's going to be for the day. David Collins now gives it on. Nice little 1-2. They've worked it back again through. They hold on to possession. They're working it over and back. They're not prepared to let the ball into Shamey Callan maybe as quick as Shamey Callan would like, but Shamey Callan is going to come out because they've won a free. They've won a free between the 265s again, and this one is almost as hard as the one he missed a couple of seconds ago, but it's on the far side of the field.
Yeah, far side of the field. You'd expect him to maybe get back on the horse again and score this one. They're after getting a couple of soft frees now. Johnny Dooley's ref, and he's been doing a good job, but the last couple have been soft, and the Upperchurch crowd have been incensed a little bit with his decisions.
So we're coming up on 15, nearly 16 minutes here. Here comes Shamey Callan between 265s again. He has 3 points already. He missed the last one from a similar distance. Now this one's probably slightly easier, especially from a right-handed player's point of view. And he puts that one up. The umpire gives us the Mayo wave, as they call it. He gives us a wide, and that goes to the right and wide. And he should probably score that one.
Yeah, I would expect him to score that. He's looking at the hurley now and that, but look at the ball is probably slightly wet with the conditions previous to the start of the match.
It definitely hasn't helped. 16 minutes gone here. 5 points to Drom Inch, 6 points to Upperchurch Drombane. And Shamey now wants to silence his critics, and he puts this one from play from about 65 yards out. But again, it goes to the right and wide, and maybe he snatched at that. Maybe he just wanted to get rid of the one he put wide by getting a score immediately.
Yeah, definitely a bit of a Hail Mary there. He just got it and hit it and hoped for the best, but didn't happen.
So it's short now, and he goes short with this one from Upperchurch. He gets it 1-2 with his corner back there, and he launches that one now down inside his own full forward line. They don't manage to get it done. It's well read there by Robbie Long. Robbie Long comes back, gives a short little stick pass into loads of space now Drom have, and they play this one over as far as David Collins is out in front of his man. He's out by the side and does a nice little jig, goes past his man on his right, over his shoulder and over the crossbar. Good score by Drom, probably their best score today.
Yeah, I think it's actually Tony Cahill got that one. They're leaving himself and David Butler inside a lot of the time, with 2 men full forward line as well. But that's a lovely score for him. It'll get his confidence up.
Good score there by him, and the ball goes out for a line ball to Drom Inch. And Drum are starting to come into it a little bit more. Their last 3 or 4 chances have all been coming to them. They didn't convert all of them, but they're starting to get their radar working, and 6 points apiece here after 17 minutes. And we're going to have a line ball now, a line ball to Drum just inside their attacking half. It's going to be taken there quickly by Johnny Ryan. He goes across the field. Lovely line ball. Gets plenty of height there onto the on-running Campion. Campion in a bit of space over the 45. Gives a hand pass outside to Callan. Callan in a bit of space. Gives that one then across. He was looking for Collins. Collins, it overran him though. And Upperchurch turned this one over and started to come up the field there. Lovely ball down inside. They've only one man though inside their own 21. But he does well and he wins it. Absolutely brilliant play back there. Wins himself a free as well. Brilliant play by Paul Shannon. Had a man in his back. Had no support but won the free.
Yeah, and I think Johnny Dooley is reaching for his book there now. Podge Campion, that's definitely a second, if not a third foul on Paul Shannon. He's getting the better of that tussle, and he'll have to watch himself from here on in. He didn't flash the yellow, but he's having a little chat with him. So next foul will definitely be yellow.
And it looks like Green is going to take this free again. He has 3 already, as we've mentioned. He has 2 from frees and 1 from play. He's about 30 yards out, and he's about 20 yards in from the sideline here on his right hand side. Again, you'd expect him to get this one. None of these are gimmies, but you would expect him to get it. The rain is definitely, which has stopped now, is definitely playing havoc. The slither doesn't sound as crisp as maybe you're used to it, or in the weather we've had for the last few weeks, what we've been used to. And he does well. Green puts that one over the bar, and there's the whistle for the water break. So another good score for Green. And now 6 points to 7, Drum 6, Upperchurch 7. Give us your thoughts in the first 15 or 18 minutes or so. Yeah,
look, both teams have been going hard at it. Quality, I suppose, hasn't been fantastic, but both are fully committed to the game, and they're going really, really strong at it. There's been a good few frees, I suppose, as part of it as well. You've have 3 frees from Porrick Green and 3 from Shamey there on both sides. Upperchurch just edging it on the scoreboard, and probably maybe edging it maybe in play as well, but there's not a whole lot in it, and yet that middle third is really congested, and both teams seem to be playing 2-man full forward line for a lot of the game.
Absolutely, but the game has been good. It's rattled along 6 points to 7 here if you're just joining us. 18.5 minutes gone in this one. A lot of talk of tactics. This water break feature, as a man who's just been involved with a county team, what is actually going on in these water breaks?
Yeah, well, you're trying to get a few simple basic instructions in there without overdoing it, because you only have the minute. You're probably getting maybe 2.5 minutes, but you have to keep it very, very simple, and just work on those things, the couple of things that maybe aren't going right for you, get them right for that next quarter. But, Limerick seem to be the masters of the water break at the moment. There's no boards out there today, but they seem to have a magic board there that they seem to get better after every water break, which is amazing, really.
I saw it last weekend, especially in the Kilruane-Nina match. I think both teams got a score directly from the water break. You imagine it's an absolutely brilliant time to go, right, we're going to run that play we were practicing in training. From the puck out, he'll go straight down to the half-forward line, have someone running off him and get a score. Yeah,
especially if you have a puck out to start back. So I think now it'll be a Drum puck out to start back. So you'd be expecting maybe they have a plan for this puck out. They were hitting puck outs to the left-hand side under the new stand as we look across there. Early on, but Keith Ryan is sitting in that space. He's not actually marking anyone, but he's blocking the space, so it's stopping that puck out. So maybe they have a different plan now. They'll have to go with something else, because that one isn't working at the moment.
And we're about to get going here. The teams, Upperchurch were first to break from their water break. Now Drom Inch are coming back into that. 6 points to 7 here. 18.5 minutes gone in this one. Both teams will feel they're well in this game, and they are, and both teams know they need to get a win here if they want to continue on this competition. It looks like Shamey Callan has come out around midfield for this one. Interesting to see what Drum's tactic is with him now in the next few minutes, and it looks like Tony Cahill has gone in there as a sole full forward. inside there. He's the only man for Drom inside the 21, and this one now is dropping down on top of David Butler, but it goes over David Butler's head, and Upperchurch do well to turn that over, but they didn't do it fully well because Johnny Ryan now has it. He tried to give it on to James Maloney, but he couldn't get it first time, but they hold on to possession, and now it's back in Maloney's on the 21, hand pass it inside, chance here, chance coming through, still Drumming Inch on the ball, the shot comes in. Was there a foul? The shot came in, it was kind of weak as he was taking, he was nearly being pushed and falling over. It looks like it was Tony Cahill inside there, got maybe a push, and the ball goes harmlessly wide in the end.
Yeah, Tony, he got a good ball in from Jimmy Maloney, I think it was again. David Collins involved, but he delayed that split second and then was blocked and went out wide.
And the puck out comes there, and unfortunately from Podge Campion's point of view, he definitely tripped up Paul Shannon from the puck out there. As we mentioned a few minutes ago, Campion has been in talks with that referee Johnny Dooley a lot already, and as Dennis suggested, there is a yellow card coming here, and he may have warranted a yellow card on that foul alone. He just tripped him with his foot as Shannon was running out to the ball.
Yeah, that one was more unfortunate. There wasn't much pulling and dragging, but look at, he had 2 or 3 fouls on already, yellow card, and there's a little bit of afters inside in front of the square at the moment.
Looks like Larkin Campion is involved in something there, but there was nothing in it. They both decided to put this to bed and move on with their lives. Pádraig Green now about to take this free about 40 yards out. He's got 3 from frees and 1 from play. The referee actually wants to go in and talk to Larkin Campion, it looks like, so we're going to be paused here for a minute. Or is he going into his umpires? Actually, the umpires have called his attention, so we might be getting a few more cards here in a minute.
Yeah, Larkin has taken over the role for the moment. He's picking up Paul Shannon. Whether that'll stick or not, I'm not sure. It might be a good idea now for Drum to move Podge away from Paul Shanahan, because one more effort and he could be gone. And Paul Shanahan now is getting a yellow card there as well for his troubles.
Absolutely, Billy Dooley's putting his name in the book, so he'll have to be careful now as well. You imagine it's a yellow that's coming in. You don't usually, as we say, talk to the player for long if you're giving him a red. Yeah, yellow card as we expected. Paul Shannon goes into the book, and we're going to now restart with a free to Upperchurch about 30 yards out. Here he comes now, Green, the team captain. He bends his knees. He has a slow enough process, but if it's accurate, no one will mind from an Upperchurch point of view. And he puts that one between the posts, and he puts that one over the bar, and Upperchurch extend their lead.
Yeah, he's hitting the frees fairly well there now, and look at it, they'll all count at the end of the day. That's nice. 2-point lead now again for the Church.
He has 4 now. He got 4 again the last day out, so he's more than likely going to increase his tally. He only scored 6 the last day out, and he's got 5 already today with only 21 minutes gone. And it's Upperchurch now on the attack again, working the ball across the midfield line. The ball goes to ground though, unfortunately from their point of view, and looks like James Maloney was in there tackling hard from a Drum point of view, but he's lost it. A big shoulder came in there, and Upperchurch turned that ball over. It was a good shoulder there by Paul Ryan, and he lets a Gary Owen style in the top. Here come Upperchurch, they're driving forward there, and the ball ends up in the back of the net. Great goal by Upperchurch. It came from almost absolutely nothing. It was a hopeful ball, went in around the edge of the square, and it found its way into the back of the net.
Yeah, massive goal now, and it was I think it was Pádraig Green who got the goal, but Jack Butler has a lot to be thanked for there. He caught that ball over Kevin Hassan's head, and you'd have to say now Butler is in command there in front of the square.
Jack Butler has caused him all kinds of trouble, a big strong man, and he's helped, hugely assisted in that goal there by Green. Green footed to the back of the net. Now the ball is dropped between the 45 and the 65. Upperchurch working hard for it, and they've done well. They've managed to turn this one over again. It's Gavin Ryan back there, wins that one, rides the tackle and comes out of his own defence. They'll have been buoyed on by that goal. A great goal, and it's knocked down inside again. Upperchurch have only 2 men inside that, and they're both working hard. Drum are completely outnumbering them, and Drum have managed to win this one back through Podge Campion. Campion is back in his own full back position, but he has the ball and he's won himself a free. That tactic, even though when it doesn't work, it looks awful, but when it does work for Upperchurch, only having 2 men inside there, when it does work, it's really working for him.
It's really working, and they have a little bit of size on their markers. Now Larkin Campion has gone back in. Paul Shannon definitely has a head over him, so that's going to be a target again, but those 2 boys are working well, and we have
and it's worked out quickly as far as Fintan Purcell, who has 12 in his back, as we've mentioned, was playing half back. He already has a point from today. He shoots from about 80 yards out, but it goes to the right and wide, and his forwards won't thank him for doing that. He did score the last one, but when they go wide, they do look awful.
Yeah, Upperchurch definitely are working the ball better. They're working to a certain point and then delivering to the 2 big guns inside.
23 minutes gone in this one, and it's pucked over around the 21 from an attacking point of view from Upperchurch, and they're onto this. They're into a bit of space over there through Green. It looks like who has it now in a bit of space. He's right on the sideline from a tough angle, about 30 yards out on his right hand side. The umpire say good long look at this one, but that is wide. He would have liked to have scored that with a few players inside, but it goes to the right and wide, and we're going to restart now with a puck out from Collins. Collins goes as far as his corner back, and they've worked it up to around the 21. Driving out there, it was Fintan Purcell. Fintan Purcell goes long inside looking for for Cahill. Cahill is out in front, but he doesn't manage to get in front of his man. Unfortunately, the ball beat both of them to it. Takes a deflection even as it gone out for a line ball. Drum looking to take that too quickly for the referee and the linesman, so we're going to have to restart back over there. But Tony Cahill definitely is a man. They're trying to play a ball into the corner. They're trying to get Cahill out in front to win his ball every time.
Yeah, the delivery often isn't the best, and you know, they're maybe overdoing it a little bit. You know, and sometimes the ball going in isn't good enough for the likes of Cahill. If Cahill gets a good ball, he'll trouble him. We haven't seen David Butler in action at all yet. And he's inside. You know, they could hit him in a few high ones, and he's well able to win them himself.
Absolutely, we're expecting to see a bit more of that today, and it's going to be a line ball now. It's David Collins over there on the far side of the field, just inside the 45, about to take this, and doesn't make a connection that he would like. And Upperchurch turn this one over and they start to build it out of their own half back line. But it's a poor pass, and here they come on to Jay Maloney. Jay Maloney of Drum, he's fouled on the edge of the D, a professional foul, soccer style almost. It had to be done, the Upperchurch man will say, but it's probably going to be a yellow card and a free in on just about the edge of the D.
Yeah, unfortunate for Niall Grant there. He got the ball and he went to catch it and it slipped out of his hand into the drum man's hand, and you know, it was probably the best thing to do there. If you were at county level, obviously penalty and a sin bin, but you know, they're going to get away lighter here. The ref is having a chat now again. Yeah, he's Keith Ryan, I think.
Looks like it is going to be Keith Ryan he's talking to over there, and he's going to have a good chat with him. It was a tackle that he felt had to be made. It looked like Maloney had a full head of steam up. He was heading for the goals, and he had only one thing on his mind, so Keith Ryan will feel he did the right thing. It'll probably be a yellow card for him, and he'll be saying, I'd do that again if I had to. He probably won't tell the referee that. I'm sure he's saying, I'm very sorry for what I done. But anyway, he gets himself a yellow card there for Upperchurch Drombane. And we're going to be restarting now with a very handy free that we imagine Jamie Callanan will take from about 21 yards out and should have no bother scoring. And Jamie Maloney, thankfully from his point of view, is up, and he looks like he's going to be well able to play on. Coming up on 26 minutes gone here, it's Drom Inch 6 points, it's Upperchurch Drombane 1-8, and we're going to have a free now for Jamie Callanan, 23 yards out in front of the goals. He has 3 points already today, all from frees. He has the wind at his back. This one should be fairly straightforward from him. The referee, there's a bit of jostling going on inside in the square. There's only one drum man in there. There's like 6 Upperchurch men. It's David Butler done. He's throwing his weight around, trying to disrupt as much as he can. Oh, and he's actually gotten thrown to the ground, and we're going to have to restart, and Butler gets up, and yeah, he's really outnumbered, but it's not bothering him inside there.
No, they're like puck goats inside, prodding and poking each other. Butler was on his own, but look, I think he's going to let the free go ahead now. Yeah,
it really seems a bit unnecessary. A shame he's just going to put this one over. It'll be one of the easiest frees he'll possibly ever take. It seems to be taking so long to take it. And Drum are a few points down, so they need to be getting all the scores they can get. And eventually, Shamey gets the chance to put that over for his 4th point of the day. 1-8 now. To 7 points to Upperchurch Drombane.
Yeah, there seems to be a lot more space in the Upperchurch in line than there is in the Drum forward line. So Upperchurch are creating space at their end, at their forwards ends, which they want to do.
Short pucks it out there for Upperchurch. It drops to an Upperchurch man. He gets onto it. He's driving forward. It's their number 5. It's Colm Ryan. Colm Ryan's shot is blocked up. Well blocked over there, but he managed to get it on the second attempt and feeds the ball outside. They still hold on to possession here. Still trying to come forward. Our great tackling back there by Drum. Another tackle comes in. A big one came in from David Collins. A good block. And Upperchurch are still working hard. They're trying to make roads over there. Aaron Ryan is trying to make through his man, and he eventually wins himself a free. Good work from both teams there.
Great work there in that middle third. You know, it's very busy there, and he's moved it up now a little bit of mouting back at the referee, and it makes it easier for Pádraig Green. He's having a good day out so far.
Team captain, yeah, he's already had 6, or should I say he's a goal and 5, I should say. So he is playing well. He is making a difference. He's got 4 from free and 1 from play, and he has got the goal from play, obviously. So 1-5 for Green as he stands up to take this one. He's inside the 45. He's about maybe 15 or 16 yards in from the sideline. Again, from a right-hander, you'd expect him to get this one fairly easily. Referee is talking to a couple of Drum players there. Is he going? He's having words with Jim Maloney, or Jim Maloney is saying he doesn't agree with what he was saying anyway. It looks like he's after getting himself a yellow card.
I think that's actually gone to David Collins there. Maloney was having a chat, trying to convince the referee otherwise.
Didn't work out for him either way. A yellow card went up, and here comes Green now with the free, and he makes that one look very easy. Puts that one over. Another good score from him, and he's absolutely flying from place balls. So it's now 1-9 to 7 points. 28 minutes gone here in Semple Stadium in this second round of the Tipperary Senior Hurling Championship. The ball goes long down as far as David Collins of Drom. Doesn't get to it. Upperchurch turned that over well and play it out, but it's not a very good clearance. And it's come straight to a Drum man. He plays that ball back inside. I think it's Tony Cahill. He's looking to get onto that. It was actually Shamie Cannon. They both have the yellow helmets on and look fairly similar from this distance out. Shamie Cannon was out in front. Does enough. His man tried to make a clearance, but Shamie manages to put him under enough pressure and win himself a sideline.
Yeah, he's lining up for this sideline just outside the 21 now. You know, if he gets a good connection, you'd never know, he might get it between the posts.
He has the breeze at his back, as Dennis says. This isn't unheard of. He looks across though. Is he looking for someone to make a run, or is he going to go for it? He has another look across, but at the same time he looks like he's going to go for it, and he doesn't get a huge connection with it, but he does find another man in a green jersey, but that man has a man on his back who's James Maloney, and the ball is still on the ground. It's just kind of getting a bit mucky and damp, to the ball is sticking to the ground a small bit more, and it's still on the ground. Still no one has it. There's an Upperchurch man who comes out of it, looks like he was tripped on his way out there, and he eventually wins himself a free. Keith Ryan does well. He's a real battler and does well. A little bit of a slap came in there, and there's an Upperchurch man gone down. I don't know if the ref saw that or the umpires saw that, but either way I think we're going to start with a free out. I don't think there was a huge amount in that. Yeah,
there was a bit of afters there. Keith Ryan has gone to the ground, but no, he's having a good game there now, and anytime you win that ruck ball, you come out with it. More often than not, you'll get your free, and there's a couple of the management team from Upperchurch not one bit happy.
Yeah, there is a lot of afters, as you call it, Dennis. There a few little sly slaps going in, and they're just really getting to know each other. So we're going to restart now with a free out down in the Upperchurch Drombane half back position, and Short is looking around it. Robert Ryan, the security man here in Thurles, has been kept busy. He's having a chat there with both sets of managers, telling them kind of take your time, lads, take it easy on the sideline. And the ball drops. Who does it drop to? It drops to Campion back there. Campion eventually gets it, and he wins himself a free, and he gives a few shoulders around to the couple of players around him, letting them know he's there, and it's going to be a free out. And his Owen Collins going to come out and take this one. He's going to come out about 30 or 40 yards out from his own, well, maybe 30 yards out from his own goal, looking around, looking for some players making a run. And he goes long with this one, dropping it down inside on top of David Butler. We haven't seen enough of him in the game from his own point of view. He gets a hand on that, doesn't manage to hold it, but it hits his hand and manages to squirt his way in as far as the goal. Kieran Short was very lively in there, and he cleared these lines well down as far as Robbie Long. Robbie Long of Drum gives it back outside to Campion. Campion about 60 yards out. He puts his hand in the air the very minute he struck that. He looked happy with that one, and that one goes over the bar.
That's a great score from Campion, but he's playing at centre back. You'd have to wonder, would he be more influential out the field? But he's marking Porrick Green, and Porrick Green has one off play, and he's scoring the frees as well. You'd have to think maybe he'd be better off out the field.
And Campion's dander is definitely up. He's thrown himself into everyone. He's celebrating everyone. And just as you say that, then it looked like Green was out in front and won the puck out. He gave it back as far as Keith Ryan, and Upperchurch start to come away with this one again. It's looking inside as far as Shanahan. Shanahan is supported in there, which is something we haven't seen enough of. A couple of kicks coming there from the Drum man. Still on the ground though. It's Upperchurch who hold on to this. And the Upperchurch man is done for travelling. Seemed a little bit harsh. He was getting plenty of attention there from the Drum man on his back.
Crazy free. Johnny could do it and let him play go a little bit now. He's too whistle happy there at the moment, and it's not helping the game one bit.
1-9 to Upperchurch, 8 points to Drom Inch, 31.5 minutes gone here. So we haven't seen the board go up for the amount of time that's going to be added on, but we don't expect there'll be a huge amount. But we're going to restart now in the cornerback position for Drum, back about maybe 23 yards out from their own goal, and it's taken back there by Fintan Purcell, the man who's already scored a point today. Drops that again. They're going to top of Butler. Butler does well, manages to play that down as far as Callan 23 yards out on his left hand side, puts that over the crossbar, and that is a good score from Drum, and something they need to be doing more of.
Yeah, Butler cute there. He broke it down to Shamie, and Shamie, if he gets a ball like that, he'll put it over the bar.
That's his first score from play. He has 4 from frees. That is his first score from play on. He'll be wanting more of them, and Drum will be wanting him to get the ball more in the second half, as we're into the last couple of minutes here of the first half. 32 minutes gone, 1-9 to 9 points in favour of Upperchurch, and the ball has worked its way down to the far corner of the field. A few players go tussling for that, but it's going to be a free out over there for Drum. And it looks like it's going to be Fintan Purcell again who's going to take this. And as Dennis said earlier, these are players we were used to seeing in the forwards last year, or at least moving up the field, and a few of them are all back there, Campion especially, but they're doing well in the backs as well to a certain extent. Anyway, scoring 2 points from centre back. Campion will be happy with that, but as we mentioned earlier, maybe his man is also starting to score too much from that point of view. Anyway, the ball is pucked down and it's dropped between the 45 and the 65, and Upperchurch win themselves a free, and we're stopped here, as it looks like one of the Upperchurch lads is actually fixing his helmet. Is it Keith Ryan? He's trying to fix up his helmet.
Yeah, it's Keith Ryan. He's having a serious game there at wing back, right wing back for Upperchurch, and he's only brought into the team. People were surprised maybe that he wasn't starting in the last game because he's played full back for the Tipp under 20s. So, but he's having a great game there at the moment.
He really is. And we're going to restart now with a free all the way back here in their own half back line. Upperchurch have won 9 points. If you're just joining us, the goal coming from Padraig Green, and that has really been the difference between the two teams. They've been fairly evenly matched. This one is taken by Gavin Ryan, the centre back for Upperchurch. He goes long with that one. It's dropping around the edge of the square. It's bouncing. No one has control of it till it's taken up there by a drum man. That drum man is Campion. Campion leaves that down along the sideline, and the referee Johnny Dooley says he's seen enough here in this first half. We played about 32 and a half minutes. It's Drom Inch 9 points. It's Upperchurch 1-9. Dennis Kelly has been with me here in the commentary box for that first half. Dennis, how would you sum up that first half?
Yeah, it's been a good first half. You know, both teams going to it as hard as they're able. But you know, for me, maybe it's a bit stop-startish with the freeze. It could be let go a little bit more. But definitely Upperchurch have the upper hand. The twin towers, as we call them, Butler and Shanahan up front, are really doing the business for them. That seems to be their tactic from the word go. And you know, when they get the ball to a certain point in the field, they're delivering it in. And the boys have the better of their two markers at the moment.
So the half-time score here in Semple Stadium: Drom Inch 9 points, Upperchurch Drombane 1-9. We'll be back after the break. Welcome back to Semple Stadium. It's Upperchurch Drombane 1-9. It's Upperchurch Drombane 9 points. It's the Church 9 points here in Semple Stadium. Upperchurch's goal coming from Padraig Green, and that's the difference between the two teams. I'm here in the commentary box with Dennis Kelly. Dennis, I suppose the big difference is that Upperchurch have a couple of different scores. They're not as reliant maybe on the frees as Drom Inch are. Where do you see the difference between the two teams?
Yeah, well, you look at Drum scoring there. Shamey has 5, 4 from frees and 1 from play, and then there's a scattering of a couple of points here and there. Tony Cahill has 1, Podge Campion, Fintan Purcell, John Campion, and you know, but overall the other side, like Padraig Green is doing untold there. He has won 6, So there's still he's a big player for them. But it's Paul Shanahan and Jack Butler has 2 scored, and he has created the goal. And himself and Paul Shanahan inside for me are the difference at the moment. It looks like Upperchurch had that plan to play the 2 inside and it'll give them room. And I think Drom are playing into their barrow a little bit. John Campion is playing centre back, but he wouldn't be used to playing there up along. He'd have played maybe midfield, even half forward. So he's given them that little bit of room behind him, where a seasoned centre back might not. But in saying that, he's doing his own bit too. But maybe someone more experienced in that role might cut off that threat a little bit better. But Drom have had a couple of moves where they maybe could have got a goal. The Upperchurch are cute; they're pulling and dragging them down or whatever if they see a bit of danger. But some of the Drom lads have been a little bit quiet, so they'll need people to step up. David Butler, they brought him in there for the start, but they hit him with very little ball. The one big high ball came in, he knocked it down to Shamey and it was a score. He's a clever player, so he need to get more service in there as well.
We mentioned he actually scored 4 or 5 in last year's championship, so he is a man who can cause havoc, and most of them, as Dennis just mentioned, come from the big high balls. If he doesn't catch them himself, he gives them out, so that is something you'd imagine they'll be aiming for a bit more. But just to go back on the whole Podge Campion debate there, like, he is still doing well at centre back. I suppose from a management point of view, if he was doing nothing, it'd be an easy decision to make to move him up. Now they're kind of in a quandary deciding, will we do it, won't we do it? Yeah, well, it's John is centre back at the moment, and Podge has been moved off of Paul Shannon because he has a yellow card. So he was lined out, he was down at 13. He's not getting cleaned up by any matter of means, but it's just I think he'd give you some drive there around the middle of the field or half forward. I remember him in his school days. He came to St. Columkills in Templemore for a sixth class, and I remember he was a real engine, and everything revolved around him. So he's a little bit curtailed back there. He's got one good point, but he might give the team a little bit more buzz further up the field. Just looking back on last night's game, I suppose the big game, Boris and Kilruane. What were your thoughts on that one? Yeah, sure, that was a great game. It was intense stuff. You had corner backs up, corner forward, and it was really, it was score after score. Look at the lads in Borrisley are a little bit disappointed, but Kilruane are going very well this year, and look, they're going to have a say in the latter end of the championship. And look, Borris now will have to look to the next day. They'll see who comes out of Ross Gray and Nina this evening, and then they'll get themselves set again for 2 weeks' time. But look, it's a great championship. Nobody's guaranteed anything. You have to fight for every little bit, and that's what you want. And a big one that you'll have particular interest in tomorrow is the Camogie Senior Final, inter-county level, of course, taking place tomorrow. You did well with your own Tipperary side. I suppose, what were your thoughts on the season in general and how it went for you? Yeah, look, it was very enjoyable. It's a different experience working with the ladies, but look at it, they really worked really hard, and they put in as much effort, I suppose, as the men. So it's nice to see them getting the gratitude and the publicity that they deserve. Look, it didn't work out on the day against Galway, but there was very little in it. Bounce of a ball here and there, it could have worked out. But we're delighted the way they've been going. And look, at the club championship now is starting this evening for them as well. So we'll be hopefully getting a look at a couple of them matches and seeing is there more talent to come through to add what's already there. And you would have seen a lot, I suppose, of the two teams that are in the final now tomorrow. What are your thoughts on that one? Who would you be rooting for there? It's hard to call it because the last 4 teams, I know Tipp haven't made the breakthrough yet, but there's very little between all those 4 teams. Cork have a nice style of running game, and they're probably that little bit more experienced at it. Galway are trying to do something similar, but they've both won All Ireland and they've players in their teams that have won it. So it's very hard to call. I'd say a couple of points either way, but it's very hard to call. Back here in Semple Stadium, if you're just joining, it's half time in this one. It's Upperchurch Drombane 1-9. It's Drom Inch 9 points. The goal coming from Pádraig Green after a long ball in and caused a bit of disruption in there. It was Jack Butler caused a bit of disruption. Both teams do have this big man inside their forward line. We talked about Butler there a few minutes ago, or we talked about David. Butler as well. Actually, they're both Butler. Jack Butler on the Upperchurch side. Would you like to see more ball bombed on top of him? Yeah, well, I suppose if they get too predictable, it mightn't work all the time. But look, it seems to be working at the moment. And, he seems to have that little edge on Kevin Hassett. And then Paul Shanahan now, he's been marked by Larkin Campion at the moment. He has a good bit of height advantage on him as well. So I'd say they'll continue with what's been working for them. But they've been working the ball through the lines a bit better than Drom. Drom have worked hard on the middle and got on to maybe mistakes from Upperchurch, whereas Upperchurch have worked the ball from their own end.
that bit better. Upperchurch have taken 2 or 3 sharp puck outs, whereas I haven't seen really any sharp puck out from Drom Inch we're talking about. So they seem to be hitting everything long, which you know, a shorter puck out maybe in the second half might work to better effect.
Absolutely. Both teams still off the field here. We've got both sets of subs warming up here on the sideline. It's funny actually, because both sets of teams made so many changes at the start. We're seeing the number 13s and the number 10s and lads we would have expected to be starting, but there were so many changes at the start. How would that affect the team, I suppose? Because the start maybe was a little bit slow, a little bit ragged. When the players probably would have found out on Thursday or Friday night they were starting, would they?
Yeah, they definitely would have found out at the last training session, you know. And if a management team is thinking ahead, they're probably working on these the placement of players from the previous match. So, you know, on the Upperchurch side, the subs that have come in have made a big difference, whereas on the other side, maybe not so much. So the changes that Upperchurch have made seem to have worked, whereas Drum's changes up to now haven't worked, you know, wholesale. So it'll be interesting to see, will they make more changes now as the game goes on.
And we have a special guest just after arriving in there. We just spotted him anyway. The man who got the big job there yesterday before. He's here trying to see what he's going to be working with for the next couple of years, I suppose. He's down there. Cullen Bonner, of course, talking to Robert Ryan there, assessing things that are going on. What are you expecting from him coming in as Tipp manager?
Yeah, I've just heard him interviewed there the last couple of days, and he's really enthusiastic about it, and he's really looking forward to the challenge ahead. So look, Colin is a real Tipperary man to the bone, and I have no doubt he'll put everything into Tipperary and getting I suppose the next thing we're all waiting for now is to hear his management team, and that'll be hopefully a good and strong team as well. And look, they'll be setting. It's great to see him here, and you know, players know that he's lurking around as well, and they'll be all hoping to make an impression on him.
Absolutely, that'll give him a lift. Surely, Dennis, just as we were about to get the ball thrown in now here, sorry to cut across, so I thought actually we were going to get the ball thrown in, but Johnny Dooley's taking an extra second. There we go. Just as the players were really getting to know each other, he drops the ball and throws it in, and it's Upperchurch who are on the attack again straight away, but it's cut out back there by Campion. Campion loses it though, and Upperchurch go on the attack. The shot comes in from a long way out. It's high, it's into the sky, and it goes to the left and wide. And that's the first wide of the second half there, going to Upperchurch. Johnny Dooley, the referee there, calling. There's a Upperchurch man on the ground over there. I think it's Campion after taking that shot. He's holding his back. Don't be stopped again here for another couple of minutes.
Yeah, John Campion got a bit of a twist there in that last tackle. A bit of a pot shot there from Paul Ryan, I think it was. And it went out well wide, not really going to trouble the goals there.
And we're going to get going here again. Here comes the puck out. He's taking his time over there in the goals. And eventually he goes as long as he can. It's dropping around the 65 back there, or even over the 65, around the 45. It's hit up. No one really gets full possession of that. The linesman has a tough decision to make. He's putting his flag straight up. It's going to be straight up, but it's in his right hand, which I presume means it's a Drom Inch line ball. I don't think either players were too certain. He didn't really feel like he was certain himself, and he's just getting the referee's attention, and he couldn't decide which way the ball went. In fairness, it wasn't an easy one, so he said, ref, will you just throw it in and we'll go from there. And that's exactly what happened. So the ball has been thrown in between the 45 and the 65, and it's a drum man who gets onto, bends his back and tries to get in his hand, but it falls out of his hand again. David Collins looked like he had it. Now we're going into a bit of a ruck, and the referee says, I've seen enough of that, and it's going to be another throw in here. Throw in there. Dooley's just trying to tell the players, go away from me for a minute and I'll throw it in. And he eventually does throw in. We're getting going now. It was getting a bit scrappy over there, but we're going again. Luke Shannon there, or should I say it was actually a Upperchurch man plays that inside into the corner. He's looking down for Paul Shannon. Paul Shannon doesn't get to that immediately, and there's been a few changes that we might talk about in a minute that have come on to both teams. The ball is still gone to ground though. It's in danger back there, and it's Upperchurch look like they have it. They're trying to get it up, but it doesn't. It's just stuck to the ground. Hassling and harrying and kicking, trying to keep the ball in over there, but the ball has gone out of play. It was touched on the ground. The referee says a little bit messy, a little bit scrappy over there.
Yeah, it looks like Luke Shannon touched that ball on the ground. There's someone stretched now. I think it's Paul Shannon that is down there as well. He did great work there to get that ball through, but nothing came out of it to finish up.
Dave, have you noticed a couple of players come onto the field there? Maybe was there any half-time changes that you spotted there, Dennis, coming onto the field?
No, I think that Luke Shannon was down to he was one of the changes. We didn't see much of him in the first half, but we didn't hear of any changes there.
Yeah, we're just trying to keep an eye out for that. I thought there might have been a few over there, but no, not just yet. We'll keep an eye on that one as they come out onto the field. I think number 17 actually, was he down to start? He's over there.
Niall Grant started there. He got a good pull in that ball there just after the half time.
So we're up again. Yes, and here we go again with a free. It looks like over there. I check, yeah, so he's up and we're ready to go again. Sorry, there was just a bit of confusion there with a couple of the numbers, but we're ready to go again here in Semple Stadium as the ball is going to be pucked out. Where are we starting now with a way back on his own end line? It's going to be a puck out here, a puck out coming down long, coming way down the field, dropping down, and a couple of players in there, but they have enough Upperchurch men back there. There's 3 of them back there. They managed to get possession well and play it off down the field. It's gone over the head there of Podge Campion, who's come up the field a bit, but they've Upperchurch or Drombane, Upperchurh Drom Inch have got onto this one. A lot of big long names here in this commentary. Sometimes it's hard to get them out as the ball is going so fast up and down the field. It goes to ground here again. A couple of men fighting for that there. Robbie Long tried to get his hurley into that. They managed to turn it over. Now it's on to Fintan Purcell. Fintan Purcell's over to 65. Gives a nice little hand pass up to Maloney. Maloney has it now. He has 2 men on his back. Plays it outside. Maybe the referee sort of let that one keep going. It looked like Johnny Ryan was in a bit of space on the 45. But the referee pulls that back and it's going to be a free.
Yeah, that's crazy pulling that back. You know, you had Johnny Ryan in an acre of space there. No advantage whatsoever there. I don't know what the idea was blowing it, but I suppose maybe he went out wide for Johnny Ryan to finish up. But you have Michael Connors is in there for Drom Inch at 17. So I'm not sure who departed the scene, but look, I'd say Houdini wouldn't figure out the lineups at this stage because it's, you know, the numbers are all over the shop. But we'll do our best to keep it going.
Yeah, that was the confusion I had a few seconds ago. Connors has come in and we just didn't see who got off. The man with the board, who's usually here on the big days, isn't here in Semple Stadium today, so we're just having to use our eyes and keep an eye on everything. But it's Shamie Callanine with a free, about 40 yards out, puts this one. It looks like it's gone to the right and wide, and that's one you would have expected Shamie to score, but he goes to the right and wide with that one.
Yeah, he's had a couple of wides now from the frees, and you know, on the other end, they're not. Pádraig Green is slotting them over.
And it's still 1-9 to 9 points in favour of the Church, and they've got the ball here now, but it just drops out of their hand, and Strum now on the ball back there in their own. Podge Campion has it. He's juggling the ball a bit on his own 21, but 45 even, but it goes to ground, and it's the Church now coming out again. But again, good hassling and harrying back there. Johnny Ryan wouldn't let his man past him, and Drum turned this one over, and they start to drive it out now through Collins. Collins between the 65s puts that one inside, down as far as Cal turns his man in a bit of space, not an easy angle, goes for a bit of sport, gives it back as far as Connors now tries to control it. Sliding tackle, soccer style here, came in there, and it's going to be a free, and that was a dangerous looking tackle, and I'd say he's going to end up in the referee's book.
Yeah, it looked like Dean Carew slid in there, but there was real danger there. Michael Connors is a lively little fella, and he got a good ball across from Tony Cahill. He got his head up and got it across, and now this is a tap over for Shamie.
This one should get Shamie's confidence back up again. He's just about 2 yards out from the 21. He's in the centre of the goals, I should say, centre of the pitch. He's right in the middle of that D. He should get this one easy enough, and he sure does, and he puts that one over the bar. That pushes them up to 10 points. Upperchurch are on 1-9, I should say. So 10 points to 1-9 here in Semple Stadium. 35 minutes, coming up to 36 minutes gone, and the Church go short with this one. Go as far as their cornerback, and then it's launched down the field, down into their full forward line, trying to get up for that, and it's well taken there, brilliantly won there by Butler. Butler's over the 14. Butler is well hooked up, brilliantly hooked there by Hassett. He was going all the way through there, was Butler. That was a real chance, and the ball goes harmlessly wide in the end.
Yeah, I think it could have been a 65 there. Butler tipped it back off one of the Drum lads' legs as far as I could see from here, this vantage point, but got no 65 out of it. But Butler is really good in the air. He's causing havoc inside.
And the referee, he blows the whistle. He's not happy with that puck out being taken quickly, so we're going to go back as far as Collins now in the goals for Drum. Here we go. He's looking for some support there. He's looking for someone to make a run. This is surely something they have practiced now. This one, look, he's coming out to the edge of the box on the right hand side, and he tries to launch that one down, but he doesn't find a man in green, and that one goes straight out of play on the full, bounces on the sideline and goes out, and Keith Ryan is back there to take this one now for the Church. He's between the 45 and the 65. 1-9 to 10 points in favour of the Church. Keith Ryan now teeing this one up for himself. He's going to take his time, I suppose. He's going to take his time with this one. His side are winning this game, and they do need to win this game, as do Drom Inch. He floats that one high, and it's brilliantly kept in there. It looks like to be heading, but Luke Shannon kept it in well, but he doesn't manage to find a man with a black and amber jersey, and it comes back across to Drum, but they don't do a great clearance. It's cleared straight to Colm Ryan, the man from Upperchurch, from 35 yards out, puts that one over the bar.
Yeah, Colm Ryan, great score from him, and there's big news on the sideline down there as well. It looks like former Tipperary player is getting ready to go. Well, it's John Ryan, is number 27, but it really looks like it looks like James Barry's getting ready to go.
It does have all the gate of James Barry. All right, we'll see in a few minutes if he does come on. There might be an announcement that'll clarify that for us. But back at play again here, it's John Campion. John Campion lays that outside to Shamie Callan. Shamie Callan's between the 65s, plays that one down inside. He's looking inside for Cahill. Cahill doesn't get it. Well defended there by the Church, and they've kept it going here. They're back inside their own half, and they've launched that one down again. Again looking for Shanahan. It was up there. He doesn't get to it the first time, and it's gone to ground again. And Drummer back there defending well, back there through Campion. Campion had him hand in his back, I think, and he's won himself a free that he wants to take quickly. There's 3 men in front of him, but he managed to hit it over all their heads, and he finds a man with a green jersey. It's up the field. It's well as far as Johnny Ryan. Johnny Ryan about 30 yards out, maybe 40 yards out I should say, on his right hand side, and he puts that over the crossbar. Well worked. Good bit of instinctive play from Drum there.
Great stuff. Yeah, John Campion got it going nice and fast, and he had Shamie Callan, and Johnny had Shamie Callan coming off the shoulder as well, but chose to shoot and over the bar.
110 to 11 points here. 38 minutes gone in Semple Stadium. 110 to the Church, 10 points to Drom Inch, and the ball drops again between the 45 and 65, and it's Drum who have it. They're working it out. One-handed clearance, nice little clearance up the line, and Drum hold on to this one now. Left inside, it's gone over Shamie's head. It looks like it's going in top of Butler. Butler goes up, doesn't manage to get it, and it goes all the way, and then it fires short in the goals for Church. He plays that outside. They start to build it back up there as far as O'Donoghue. O'Donoghue clears that one down. Anywhere will do. It almost feels like with that clearance it's dropping. Well taken there, brilliantly taken by Shanahan. Shanahan did brilliantly well, hit into loads of space here. Here comes Green and plenty of space. He's over the 21. He shoots. It's into the back of the net. Into the back of the net. Upperchurch working from one end of the field to the other, find the net and push their lead out to another 3 points.
Unbelievable from Paul Shannon. He caught a high ball, changed his hands, gave a great hand pass through to Green, and Green did the knee, fell low to the corner. Absolute fabulous goal, but Paul Shannon must take a lot of credit there.
2 goals now for Green, and as Dennis just suggested, look where we might be seeing the introduction of, he's wearing 27. That's not who we have in a programme as 27, but that is, we can almost guarantee that is James Barry coming onto the field, and how fantastic it is to see this man making an introduction. He's been through a lot in the last year or so, and he's come onto the field here, and he's getting a rousing reception from the crowd.
Yeah, what fabulous to see him back. I heard it in the water last night that he had scored a few points in the junior match and was getting ready to come back to the Church jersey, and they'll be thrilled to see him back in the stripy jersey, and no doubt he'll have an impact here when he comes in.
Absolutely brilliant, and back in play here against Johnny Ryan. Johnny Ryan is back in his own half, drops that one inside. Butler goes up for that, drops to Shamie. No one has it, it's on the ground here, still dangerous here, but the Church do well and defend themselves. They've come out, they're over their own 13 with the ball and cleared out again, and Keith Ryan now has it. Keith Ryan drops that one down around the 20 to 45 on his own attacking side of the field. It drops, it bounces, and it goes out of play. Still 2-10 now, 2-10 Upperchurch are. Drom Inch are 11 points, so the Church starting to extend their lead here and being able to bring on the likes of James Barry will surely steady the ship. We're going to have a line ball now, a line ball to Drom Inch back inside their own 45. It's going to be taken by Fintan Purcell. Fintan Purcell, who scored a point in the first half, makes a nice connection with this one, drops it up. Keith Ryan is looking at it, but it's won there by Robbie Long. Robbie Long, who's yet to score in this game, over the 45, but it's well read there. Keith does very well back there, brilliantly taken there by Keith Ryan, and he's won himself a free.
Yeah, he's having a fabulous game there, wing back. Very clever, pulled in the tackle over around his neck, and he has driven it down into the full forward line now. One inside,
and he's got the ground. Here's a chance of a goal running through here. The Church are on, and the shot comes in, and it's a goal. Paul Shannon was all on his own. Gets a bit of a dig there, I think, after the ball was struck to the net. He found the net, that's all he'll care about.
Yeah, that's it. He's lying on the ground now, and we could see red here. There has been a strike there afterwards, but really, it's a masterclass from Upperchurch. He was one-on-one inside, bit of tugging and dragging, but he got onto the ball and he got it in, and it came from Keith Ryan, a wing back. Clever thinking, put the free down, hit it in, seeing the danger inside.
Drum really seemed to fall asleep back there. It was from a free. Maybe the free was taken quicker than they would have liked. Keith Ryan looked up, spotted the danger inside, and Paul Shannon did very well to find the net. Now he's on the ground. He did receive a bit of a belt, and it looks like, is it number 27 over there? Number 27, Lord Campion, getting spoken to. Or is it number 27? He looks like he's getting a yellow card. He's lucky to only get a yellow from what we saw up here. And the referee is going into the umpires. Is there going to be more people getting cards?
Yeah, he has the yellow. Now that's a yellow for Larkin and a yellow for Podge. But look, it's hard to know. He's still talking to the referee, and it could be costly for Paul Shannon if he was involved as well, because he has the yellow already. But it's hard to know what will happen next.
I think Paul Shanahan might be okay. He's up and he's going to play on, it looks like, anyway. And the referee has finished talking to the umpires. He's been busy. He's been in talking to all his umpires today. But the main thing is it's 3-10 now to Upperchurch. It's 11 points to Drom Inch. I don't think anyone expected this to go this way by this much. 3-10 to 11 points. 42 minutes gone here, and the ball drops around the 50-yard line, we'll say. And the referee says there's a foul there. Looks like Johnny Ryan won himself a free, and Drom need to score from this one.
Yeah, and great leadership there from Johnny Ryan. He's come into the game of late, and they're going to need it now. They're going to need all the leadership they can, because they're well down here and they're facing an uphill battle. Now they're looking at the freeze and they're looking who's going to hit it. They look like they're in a bit of disarray. Johnny's stepping up to it himself there now.
Yeah, you think if they were in a hurry that he should have just decided to do it in the first place. They've wasted a few valuable minutes there as the rain starts coming. It's starting to get a bit misty. Mistakes will happen though, so if they drop this around the house, who knows what could happen. They have a few big men in there like Butler that they maybe should be aiming for, but Johnny decides to go high and puts that one over the bar, and that's another point for them. But I suppose there's 43 minutes gone. There is still plenty of time. They need to keep the scoreboard ticking.
Yeah, they're going to need a few green ones now if they're going to challenge though. Upperchurch are gone short here again.
3-10 to 12 points in favour of Upperchurch. The ball goes from the puck out, goes far as the corner back, and he launches that one down around the full forward line. Is where it's dropping. Upperchurch managed to retain possession. There was a bit of a chop came in there. We could hear it from up here, and they've won themselves a free in probably a scoreable position, maybe about 30, maybe 42 yards out from goal.
Yeah, Paul Shanahan again was fouled by Larkin Campion. They really can't manage him at all. Paul Shanahan hasn't scored, but he's definitely close to man of the match for me, because he's everything that goes in, he's making something out of it.
So we have a free now. It looks like it's Green going to take this. He has been the star of the show today. He scored 2 goals as well as 5 frees and 1 from play. And here he goes again, about 47 yards out, and he puts down the referee, or the umpire I should say, gets busy, and that's another point for him. And now that's 3-11 to 12 points in favour of Upperchurch here with 44 minutes gone. And it's going to be Collins now in the goal for Drom Inch to take this one. He's looking around. He's looking for someone to play this to. There's no obvious target. There's a few people shouting, but I don't know if the ball is going to drop down in that direction. It goes. It's well won there by Drom. Get up well. Catch that one. The shot comes immediately in. Has it got the legs? Yes, it does. That was a well-worked move and a well-worked score.
Yeah, brilliant from Johnny Ryan. He's been a real leader for this team for years and years, and he's coming near the end of it now, but he's really doing his utmost to try and pull them back into the game.
3-11, that's 20 to 13 points, so 7 points. 3-11 to 7 points, I should say. Trying to do quick match there with 44 minutes coming up on 45 minutes gone in this one. So the next score, I suppose a green one, as Dennis said, is vital from a Drum point of view. Upperchurch don't have got 3 already. Are they the ones more likely to score again? Now it's Johnny Ryan, a man who's really come into the game since that third goal. Plays the ball inside. Drum hold on to possession here. Another, is it a shot? No, it's a low one inside looking for Butler or Shamey Callan. Shamey Callan is out in front but doesn't manage to hold possession fully, and his marker managed to get it. The ball is still on the ground as the rain starts to team down here. It's making things a bit difficult, but Johnny Ryan who's been brilliant for the last 4 or 5 minutes, does well there, wins himself a free from about inside the 45 anyway, and this one is going to be scoreable as well.
Unbelievable from Johnny Ryan. He's not taking no for an answer here. He wants Drum to remain in this championship in the hunt for the Dan Breton, and he's doing everything he can. He's going to take this himself now again.
Wins the free, gets up, takes it. Here we go. Johnny Ryan on his right hand side, and that one again results in another white flag. Johnny has now got 4 today, and as we said, in the last 3 or 4 minutes since they conceded that third goal, Johnny has decided, right, we need to get going here. 3-11 to Upperchurch, 14 points to Drom Inch, and the ball is going to be pucked out here. The Upperchurch goalie short there, taking his time, wiping his hurley. It is getting wet. The referee is trying to hurry him up there now. We've got about 15 minutes or 14 minutes left of normal time in this game, so still plenty of time. And can happen in the last 14 or so minutes. The ball is left up there. It's gone to ground, and Drum have turned this one over. They've got it there through Collins. Collins working hard. One-handed swings that almost tennis style out there. And yet again, who is there? Only Johnny Ryan, way back in his own centre back position. Puts that one high, dangerously in around the box. It's bouncing. No one has it yet. Now it comes to a Drum man. Turning left and right. The shot comes in. Shamey Callan goes low. Well saved. Upperchurch man threw his body on the line there. I think it was Matt Ryan threw his body behind out and stopped Shamey Callan's shot heading for the goal. Now it's worked out again, and yet again it's Johnny Ryan. He's like he's the only man on the field at the moment. Shoots over his shoulder, but this one he was off his feet taking that one, but it's knocked in dangerously. But it comes in the end to an Upperchurch man. That Upperchurch man is tackled around the neck, and he wins himself a free. I think that man back there might have been Gavin Ryan.
Yeah, look at the Upperchurch backs are doing very well there. Anything that's coming in they're dealing with. That was a great block. I think it was Dean Carew actually got the last touch on it there. He threw his body on the line, and now they're going to take a breather here. Someone has an injury of, it doesn't look too serious, but he's slowing it down a little bit for get a breather.
47 minutes gone here, 14 points to Drom Inch, 3-11 to Upperchurch Drombane, and it is going to be a free out, a chance, as we said there, for Upperchurch to kind of, so they soaked up the pressure there well. Shamey Callan did have a decent chance, and as we said there, Dean Carew threw his body behind it and managed to stop it, and here comes Short now with the puck out, or the free out I should say, and he drops that one long in around the full forward line. It looks like it's not going to be won directly, and it bounces straight into the hands of Kevin Hassett. He didn't know too much about that. I think it just bounced up in his hand, and he was very grateful to accept it. And here's Long now. Long in a bit of space. Goes inside as far as Maloney. Maloney also has a bit of space. Gives it fire as Collins. Collins looks up, looking to wonder where he's going to play this one inside. Looks like he's going to come out as far as Cahill. Cahill, who's out by the sideline, turns one way, then the other. Then goes past his man, or tries to. His man does well to hold him out there. Cahill drops the ball, but he holds on to possession. Picks it up again on his left hand side, a hurried shot, and it goes to the left and wide, and he did have other options around him. He doesn't look happy with himself, and they need to be converting those chances.
Yeah, and he had Shamey coming outside him. I suppose a little bit of inexperience. He's doing well, he's winning his own ball, but Shamey was free outside. It would have been a nice one there just before the water break.
And we just hear the whistle for the water break. 48 minutes gone here, and the clock is stopped here in Semple Stadium. The stadium clock anyway. It says 3-11 to 14 points. 3-11 to Upperchurch Drombane. 14 points to Drom Inch. And that was an interesting quarter. The third quarter is known as the moving quarter, the championship quarter, and it certainly was there. And it looked like Upperchurch are the ones who are moving.
Yeah, they're definitely on the move. And look at it's the 6 points in it there now. Bear Drum can get a goal now or two. They'll need maybe a couple. It's hard to see Upperchurch losing this one, but they'll have to keep going what they're doing and not take their foot off the gas, But Drum are going to need to change something. They need to go do something different. They're having big discussions down there. I see Shamey Callan and James Woodlock talking to each other, and they're trying to figure out what can they do to get over the line, but it's not working at the moment.
Yeah, James Woodlock, of course, his second year in charge of his native club. He was over the Tipp Miners as well this year. Did a good win here against Kerry, and then they lost to Cork. But that Cork team, no shame losing to them. They went on to win the All-Ireland, beating Galway in the All-Ireland Minor Championship. But he's down there in a tight huddle trying to talk to them. He knows what it takes to try and get him over the line. Or do we see James actually in that shot? There he is. He's letting his mentors talk to them there. There's James out there with the blue cap trying to get in there and talk. Now he's given heart and determination isn't something that they're going to be lacking on that Drum side.
No, he's giving it everything there, and it's down now to a bit of fight. Johnny Ryan is showing it there, but they need more than Johnny to do it. And look, he's laid it on the line now. They're near the trap, looking down the face of a trap door at the moment. A loss here, and their year it's going to be a long winter for the people in Drum if they lose this one.
Absolutely. So we're going to get going here from the water break. The Upperchurch Drombane men are still being spoken to by their management teams. They're inside there. They're getting told, keep doing what you're doing maybe. They've really been good to soak up the Drum pressure, and they go now the other end of the field, and they're doing very well. Like, they haven't had a huge amount of possession, but they've been very economical with it.
Yeah, well, the difference is it's kind of aerial bombardment at both ends, but they're making hay when it goes into them. Like, the likes of Paul Shanahan and Jack Butler, and now you have James Barry got in full forward there. They're holding on to the ball and they're making scores. Where at the other end it's going up, but they're not able to capitalise on it. So that's the difference for me at the moment.
Yeah, James Barry looks like he's going into the edge of the square. Not something I've seen too often. Is that something? Has James Barry played a lot in there in your experience of seeing him?
He would have been, from time to time, he would have played centre forward for them down through the years. And I suppose in a small club, you have to make the most of what you have. So he'd be well used to taking scores, and he was always able to get a good score even from wing back in his Tipp days. A
great pair of hands is something we know he has, and that'll definitely help him being inside there, and especially on a wet day like today. So we're going to restart it now in short for Upperchurch, and he drops that one down. It looks like it's going to be a couple of, there's definitely more drum men over there, and it is one of them who gets it. It's Maloney gets it, comes out there, there's a tackle around the neck, he takes the free, and they're going to try and take that quickly, you'd imagine, and it's Podge Campion who is going to take that. He's dropping that one inside, again looking for Shanahan, again looking for Callan is in there, bounces in front of Callan, bounces twice even, and it's hacked clear. Then they're pulled on the ground, well pulled on there by Short, out for a line ball. The referee is getting roared at from all angles, but I don't think it's going to be a free. I think we're going to restart with a line ball here on this near side of the field, and it's going to be Collins to take it. Collins now looking around. Is the referee happy to let things go on? It looks like Short is carrying a small injury there inside in the Upperchurch goal, but he's okay again. And here comes Collins. Collins on his left hand side doesn't make a great connection. The referee again is blowing the whistle. Is he saying take it again?
I think Upperchurch had 16 on the field. Their first 8 men ran across the sideline there just to slow it a little bit. But look, it looked like Shamey could have got a little tug there inside in the square. Another referee could have pointed to the spot, but the referee has gone in now to check on Kieran Short. But a bit of a delay tactic maybe again. They're 6 up. and they're in no hurry whatsoever.
3-11 to 14 points in favour of the Church here, coming up on 49 minutes, coming up on 50 minutes gone even in this one in Semple Stadium, and it's a line ball when we do get going again. The Kieran Short there, Upperchurch's goalie, is getting a bit of attention. I think he's going to be okay, and we're going to restart then with a line ball for David Collins here. He's about, with the 21, he's about 10 yards out from the 21, so we'll say he's 31 yards out. Here he goes with this on his left hand side, makes a good connection, but is it going to go in the direction he'd like it? It has. It's dropping in there, still in play, which is the main thing. Fighting and Hassan and Harry in there for it, but it's going to be an Upperchurch man who comes away with his hand pass that over his head, and he's worked it out and they hold on to possession here. The drum men try to stop him coming out, but they don't manage to succeed at the first time anyway. Now the ball has gone to ground again, and Upperchurch Butler tries to stick his backside into that one and do as much damage with it as he can, but the ball doesn't go into his hand. From his own point of view, he's not happy about that, but it goes to ground, and it's going to be a line ball to Upperchurch, and they'll be in no hurry to take this one. They're just trying to find it. Is Keith Ryan back there, the man who's been everywhere for them in this side of the field and in that side of the field. In fairness, he's been everywhere. Yeah, he's had a great game, and as I've had, the backs have worked as a unit. Gavin Ryan has been steady centre back there too. Nothing soft has gone through. Oh, we put the commentators cursing him, I think, Dennis, unfortunately. He takes that one and he puts it straight out of play. It maybe went 4 yards, and now it's going to be a line ball to David Collins. So they're just taking turns taking line balls. But this one is taken quickly. It's in around the edge of the box. Shamey Callan is in there. Again, Shamey looks like he's pulled off the ball. It's pulled outside there to Butler, and he puts it wide. But it looked like Shamey Callan was fouled. Yeah, the sideline are incensed. I see Damien Young doing a jig down there below me. That's twice now he's been dragged down, and he has got nothing. There mightn't have been a whole lot in it, but there has been some contact, and sometimes you get those. It looked like someone was pulling his arm there, but did fall to Butler, and Butler pulled on it on the ground, but he put it to the left and wide. 51 minutes gone here, 3-11 to Upperchurch, 14 points to Drom Inch, and the ball drops down there, back down inside into the Upperchurch half back line. Or the Drom Inch half back line, I should say. But they've managed to win the ball, and they've won themselves a free out, and that free out is going to be taken by John Campion back there. Campion is looking around for someone to give this down to. He decides to go route one then and plays it down to Callan, who's out in front of his man, but the ball goes over his head and it's battered out. Good defending back there again by Upperchurch, giving Shamey Callan nothing, and you can't give this man nothing. If he gets a sniff of it, he'll find the net. Yeah, then see Mike Fitzpatrick is warming up there, but it seems to be one plan now for Drum. Callan one-on-one inside and bomb it in on him. I don't know, is that going to work? There's coming up on 52 minutes gone here. Just as Dennis had mentioned, Mikey Fitzpatrick is coming onto the field there. We didn't see who went off, but he's made his way onto the field anyway, and it's going to be a line ball on the far side of the field. That one is coming in again by Johnny Ryan. Johnny Ryan goes short with this one. He tries to give it to Robbie Long, but it was well read. But Long eventually gets it on the second time. Long on his right hand side. The crowd like that one. The umpires like that one. And that one has gone over the bar. Lovely point from Long, and it's David Butler has departed the scene. And John Campion seems to have gone up the pitch around the middle third now. He could be an impact from there. And Church have the ball again. They go short from their puck out, playing the ball down long, down looking for, as looks like they're looking for Butler maybe down there, but they get onto it well now. Here's Paul Ryan, a bit of space, goes past his man, actually takes a step back and decides to play this one into the area, into the danger zone, try to get one of his men onto that. None of them manage to get to it, and it's a drum man who comes away with the ball again. They're working hard back there. They're doing everything they can to try and stay in this championship, but that pass isn't a good one. That pass there coming from Larkin Campion didn't find this man. And Upperchurch have managed to work this one back. The shot comes in from a difficult angle, over on the far side, over the left shoulder, but it goes to the right and wide. But there was a chance there. Was a chance, but a little bit ambitious, but it was worth a go, I suppose. And then quickly taken puck out there, but it goes straight out of play. And both sides maybe getting a little bit nervous. Maybe Drum's starting to realise maybe our championship is over, and maybe Upperchurch are realising, geez, we're going to beat Drum here, and who knows where we can go from here. Yeah, that's critical now, that puck out going straight out over the sideline. They leak seconds off the clock again. They're taking their time here. They're debating, the Church boys, who's going to take it. And, it's more time gone off the clock. Paul Ryan now to take this one. He has a point already today. We have 53 minutes gone in this one. It's 3-11 to 15 points in favour of Upperchurch. Here comes Ryan now. He's between the 65s. Makes a lovely connection on that one. Off over to the far side of the field. Over towards Paul Shanahan. Paul Shanahan gets onto that one. He has a man on his back. He's looking for some support. He goes inside, a dangerous ball flicked inside, and Upperchurch get onto this. They're inside the square. The shot comes in, and it goes just to the left and wide. It was batted to the left and wide. Was a chance there. He did everything he could, but it goes to the left and wide. Another great ball from Paul Shannon. He's really pulling all the strings up there. That was unfortunate, but they have a chance again. They've worked it back again. Here come the Church, right back onto the edge of the D, but again, brilliantly defended it there. It looked like Fintan Purcell was the most agile there. The shot did come in, but it was well defended back there, and now Drom Inch come away with it again through John Campion. John Campion plays that over to the far side of the field, and here come Upperchurch. They're driving forward to Shamey Callan, or Drom Inch I should say. He's over the 14. Here comes Callan with his shot. Well saved again back there. Short has been good in the goals all day. Callan was coming flying through, but the referee has decided there was a foul, and it's going to be free in, but Callan Callan had a great chance of a goal there.
Yeah, that's textbook Callan too. You know, the ball, it wasn't a big bomb of a ball. It was into space in front of him. He turned headed for goal, and I thought maybe he'd stick it, but it was a great effort. But that's Kieran Short is having a great game back there between the sticks.
54 coming up on 55 minutes gone here. 15 points to 3-11 in favour of Upperchurch Drombane. They're about to bring on a sub. It looks like their number 18 there is going to come on. Is Michael Lavery is going to make his way in another few minutes. We're stopped here as there's an Upperchurch man down inside in the square, and he looked like being told that's the end of his game. Is it? Even though he gets up the very minute that signal was given, as if to say he's not staying on, but no, he decides no, I'm staying on, and it's going to be a free into Johnny Ryan. Johnny Ryan 21 yards out, blast that one over the crossbar, and that's his third from free, and he got 2 from play, so he has 5 today.
Yeah, nice point from Johnny there. The church door giving an exhibition here of running down that clock, and now we have a break. I think
we're going to
seem to be
going to be a sub. I think possibly is there, as we said, Lavery going to come on there for the church, or the referee is talking to a few people. He's talking to the management teams. He's telling them to calm down. Doesn't seem to be anything huge going on, but the ball isn't in play, unfortunately. And here we go. There's that sub we were talking about. He's made his way onto the field, and that's going to get things going again. The man coming off there from Upperchurch is their number 17, who looks to be in a bit of distress there. Niall Grant's just making his way off the field, and the ball now is pucked out and it's dropping. It's dropped between the 265s again. Again, it's Drum who go for this. They've managed to pick it up. They have it. It looked like they have it there through Collins, but again it goes to ground, and it's eventually won there by Shanahan. Shanahan comes through. He has 4 or 5 green shirts in his way. He goes through them and he's fouled and won himself a free, and he'll take his time getting up off the ground after that one, I'd say.
He'll be sore tomorrow, but I'll tell you, he's got through some amount of work. He's given an exhibition there today. You know, not the most stylish of hurlers, big rangy fella, but when he gets it, he's hard to be stopped.
Here comes Green. He hasn't got as many frees in the second half, but overall he has made a huge contribution today. He has 2 goals and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 frees and a point from play. So he has made a huge contribution to the scoreboard. 3-11 that Upperchurch have in total. Here he goes now. He's about 50 yards out, you'd say, but he's in front of the goals. You'd expect him to get this one. The breeze has completely died down, which will suit him, and he gets that one between the posts, right over the black spot. Another score for him. Yeah,
it's vital to have a free taker and he's kicking him over, and keep the scoreboard ticking. He's had a serious game today.
They needed that. They hadn't scored for a while, but now they've pushed themselves out to 3-12 to 16 points. That's Upperchurch in the lead, 3-12 to 16 points. 56 coming up on 57 minutes gone here, and the ball is pucked out, but it makes its way over to the far side of the field and goes out of play, and we're going to get going again with an Upperchurch line ball between the 45 and 65.
Yeah, that's vital. That ball going went straight out over the line again. Second puck out to goal there in the last couple of minutes, and the Upperchurch are eking out that clock.
And they've worked that ball down inside to one of their own men. Upperchurch have this one. They're up to the 45. They're working over. The shot comes in over the shoulder. Is it going to have the distance? It definitely has the accuracy. And the crowd really like that. That feels like an insurance score.
Yeah, that was a great score from James Barry. He's been welcomed back by the Upperchurch crowd.
James Barry there, that won't be forgotten for a long time, that score. That'll mean a huge amount to him, and as we hear there, huge amount to the crowd here. The ball is pucked out, it's one down there, won by an Upperchurch man, wins himself a free, and he's between the 45 and between the 265s, and he's going to take his time about putting that down there. He looks like he's going to take a good long time about that, is Jack Butler. He actually leaves it, and it's going to be another man to take the free now. Of course, it's going to be Green, who has scored a huge amount already today.
Yeah, Keith Ryan is after having a fabulous game there. He snapped that out of the sky, and won his free. He's been brilliant there, and he's been left out the last day, but he won't be left out the next day, that's for sure, because he's been one of their best players.
Absolutely, and here comes Green now again between the 65s on the near side of the field, drops that one in. Does it drop over the crossbar? No, it doesn't. It just goes to the right and wide. 58 minutes gone here. 3-13 to 16 points in favour of Upperchurch Drombane. And that ball is pucked down, goes long. And Upperchurch are in control of this one again. They've worked it all the way back there. And they're still holding. Grant there clears that one down the line, down the far side of the field. A couple of men go up for that. Kevin Hassett of Drum went up for that. Doesn't manage to get it, but Podge Campion was in behind him. And he gets that and clears it up for Drum. They cleared up the line. They'll be hoping to hold on possession here. They really need to work a goal out of this. We're into the last minute and a half of normal time. It's dropped in there. Jamie Cannon was up for that, but he was being held. He doesn't like that. He had to go at the referee, saying, I've been held all day, ref. And the referee then gives a free out against the drum man, and the ball is actually hit away. And they go and retrieve it. It looked like over there John Campion gave it back as quick as he could to the Upperchurch men, but they're taking their time to take this one.
Upperchurch, they're better than Tyrone in running down the clock here. They're really clever, and they know that they have 1 foot in the next round. They're very close to the victory, and they're taking time with everything now.
They really are, and they're really taking their time with this puck out as well. Short, free out, I should say. Short is back there inside his own 13. And he goes with this one, and it's dropping there between the 45 and 65 again. A few hands go for it, but it's a drum man who comes away with it. Hassling and harrying and fighting there brilliantly was Collins. And he does well, gave it outside, and he wins his team a free. And he's looking now for the ball to take it quickly. Church aren't inclined to give it to him. He's trying to take it as quick as he can as we come into the last 20 seconds or so of normal time. Here he comes, he drops that one in. You imagine he'll be hitting, trying to get it into Callan. Callan goes up for that one, takes that brilliantly in his hand. Can he turn? He has a few players in his back. He's looking to try and give that one out. He was trying to give it out as far as Shanahan, but the referee, and he was dead right in that time, there was 3 men on his back, and he gives a free in 21 yards out. They'll have to go for a goal.
Yeah, Matt Ryan was getting very friendly with Shamey there. It had to be a free, but they'll have to go for a big one now. Time is running out them.
Even a goal here won't be enough, but they'll have to go for it. They'll have to do something now. Upperchurch have 1, 2, 4, 5 defenders back and the goalie on the line. It'll be a huge ask to try and get the ball in, but we have seen it before. We have seen it here in Semple Stadium. Even one famous time, Lyndon Fairbrother back in 2019 in the Seamus O'Ryan final. I remember got one similar, was probably even farther out. But here we go now. It's David Collins. David Collins facing up against 5 Upperchurch defenders and the goalkeeper. Here he goes. His side are 16 points. Upperchurch here goes with the shot, and it's well saved. The goalie came out there. Short was out in front of all his defenders and saved that. Drom Inch needed a score there, but they didn't get it.
No, didn't get it now, and we're going into injury time here now. So, they'll have to lob this one in again. Good save again from Kieran Short. He's been brilliant today.
Now it's Fintan Purcell, so with the 65 here. Again, we're gone over the 60. We're into the 61st minute. So here comes Fintan Purcell to try and save Drom Inch's Dan Breen progress in this. They're heading out of the competition, you'd imagine, if they don't get something out of today's game, and that one goes short and it's batted out to around the 21, and there's a drum man foul, and it's going to be a free in from the 21 about 5 yards in from the sideline. They're looking to try and take it as quickly as they can, but they've decided now maybe to slow things down a small bit as they get a new man to take this free, and they've got a free now on the 21. 3-13 to 16 points. Here we go. They're trying to work something out of this free. You'd imagine the point won't be enough, but that's what happens. They put it over. Johnny Ryan, I think, with the point there again, but they need to get a goal quickly.
Yeah, they're going to need a goal.
3-13 to 17 points here in favour of Upperchurch Drombane in this Tipperary Senior Hurling Championship round 2. Upperchurch look like they're going to get their first points of the championship, and it looks like Drum will have to wait. They'll play Anacarty in round 3, but unless they can get something out of this game, it'll be very hard to see them progressing, even if they win that game. And there's a bit of travelling going on there. Upperchurch worked the ball out to their midfield. They worked it as far as Aaron Ryan. Aaron Ryan was done for travelling though, and the ball is quickly taken back in there. There's danger. It's in around the house. It looked like Shamey Canley went up that. He'd lost his hurley and almost tried to Maradona hand to God that into the goal, but it went over his head and out for a wide ball.
Yeah, look at the Shamey's in there on his own. There's 3 Upperchurch lads inside. It's not ideal for Drum now. They're not going to win a game like that.
It does look like they're almost out of ideas now. Just trying to lump the ball in top of Shamey, hoping he can work a miracle, and the ball is pucked out now, and it's won in, out there by a drum man again. They are winning all the ball. They have, feels like they've had most of the possession. They just haven't been converted on the scoreboard. That every time Upperchurch get the chance, they are almost finding the net. Now, and here we go now. It's going to be a free on the far side of the field to Drom Inch. Once the referee has finished talking to a player over there, is there a yellow card coming? There is, but it's almost non-consequential at this stage. We're gone so far into the game. Quickly taken there by Campion. Campion drops that in around the edge of the box. There's danger here. The ball is broken down, but again it's short back there from the Church. Gets that, he rises the tackle and then hand pass that out as far as Shanahan. Shanahan then clears the ball back in his own 14, but he clears that around the 65. It bounces. The drum man has it now. Eventually it's Purcell back there, goes short with a stick pass to the up as far as the 45. Drum hold on to this one. They're working it through, bit of time and space. Again a lasered pass inside. It looked like it was going inside there for Connors. Connors doesn't control it, and it's worked its way back to a Churchman, and that Churchman casually lays that outside as far as Butler. Butler then gives that up along the line, and Upperchurch are going to get away with this one again. They managed to clear it down. They have one man inside and he's on his own in the full forward line. He managed to get a touch on that, but it's back there now. Campion of Drum has that. He gives it up to Kevin Hassett. Kevin Hassett now tries to go forward between the 265. Hassett steadies himself and then lays that one inside, but it's not to its intended target, but it falls to Johnny Ryan. Johnny Ryan is going through. Johnny's up to the 21. Johnny is fouled, and Johnny had to be pulled down there from a Church point of view, but he won't be happy. He was about 22 yards out from goal as he was driving forward there.
Yeah, Johnny's showing great spirit. He's going to take this himself.
Johnny goes quick, he goes low. There's enough men on the line though, and it's stopped, but the danger isn't fully averted. Comes back to Johnny again on the 21. Johnny shoots, but it's saved by Short. Keith Ryan now has it. Of all players to have the ball coming out, it's Keith Ryan. He's actually fouled there, but he managed to hand pass the ball clear, and Upperchurch managed to ride that storm. Drum threw everything at them there in that last attack.
They did. Johnny Ryan showed great spirit there. You know, he's been a real brilliant club hurler for Drum over the years. who knows, will this be his last year? We don't know, but he's really trying his best for Drom. Diarmaid Grant is in there now for Upperchurch, just to slow it down another little bit.
Absolutely, we have 64.5 minutes gone here. It's 3-13 to 17 points in favour of Upperchurch, and they're really doing everything they can to play down the clock here. Now it's short. He's taking his time with this free out, 21 yards out from his own goal. He'll try to hit this as far away from his own goal as he can, and he drops that down nearly around the other 21. It's dropping. It's no one has possession just yet, but it looked like might be the black and amber who have that. They're hassling and harrying, and still the ball is on the ground, and the more important thing from their point of view is it's away from their goals. James Barry is back there. He's trying to shepherd his man out. A bit of a flick him in there from a Church man, and it's going to be a free out.
Yeah, there's a bit of afters there as well now, but that'll suit the Church down to the ground.
It really will. Drum will be trying to take this as quick as they can, but eventually they do get around to taking it. It's Collins now. Collins lasers that one, and there's the final whistle, is it? He seemed to, no, it isn't. I thought he was going with the long whistle there, and the ball is pucked out down, and Upperchurch man gets that. He drives that all the way in. Is that Paul Ryan from all the way out the field, from about 80 yards? He puts that over the bar.
Yeah, fabulous score there. Everything's going right for them now. It's game over here.
It does seem to be game over. That's 3-14 to 17 points. 65 minutes gone here. 3-14 for Upperchurch. 17 points for Drom Inch. And that ball is pucked out down again. Again, Drom aren't giving up. They're fighting for this one. They've worked the ball up to about the 50 yards from the goals that they want to be attacking into. And Drom have the ball now. It's kind of back as far as the 265. Here comes David Collins. He's going through tackle after tackle like an American footballer there. And he wins himself a free now. It's about 64, 65, 66 yards out. It's quickly taken there by Campion. Podge Campion drops out around the penalty spot. It drops. It's taken by Callan. Callan's in the square. Callan is pulled down, and Callan wins himself a penalty. 65 coming on. 66 minutes gone here. It'll probably be too little, too late, even if they do find the net.
It might probably will be, but Shamey has shown great heart too. You know, he's been trying really hard. He was surrounded there by 5 or 6. And he's won himself a penalty. If he had to win it a little bit sooner, maybe it might have been more influential. But look, this is just a consolation now, I'd say.
3-14 to Upperchurch Drombane. 17 points to Drom Inch. Coming up 66.5 minutes gone here. As we said, a penalty and even a goal from the penalty is probably going to be too little. You can't imagine there'll be too much more time to be added on to this one. But here he goes now. It's going to be David Collins. David Collins of Drom Inch to take this one. David Collins up against Kieran Short in the Upperchurch Drombane goal. Here he goes. We're waiting for the whistle. Everyone's looking at this one. Wonder, there's the whistle. Here comes Collins. Collins lifts, goes low with this one into the right hand side. Does the goalie with his eyes, it looked like, into the right corner. Good penalty.
Yeah, great penalty. Short went the wrong way, and he hit it nicely up into the top right hand side.
117 now. That's 20 points to 3-14. What's that? That's 23 points. And there we go. Now there is the final whistle. Upperchurch were just so economical. Anytime they got the ball, they managed to get a score out of it. Drom Inch had plenty of the ball, but couldn't seem to convert it. The final score here: Drom Inch 117, Upperchurch Drombane 3-14. Then let's sum up what we saw there in that 66 odd minutes.
Yeah, so look, it was a good game, well fought by both sides. You know, the Upperchurch had that little bit of the upper hand, probably from all through really, you know, and they had that. Their game plan looked a little bit clearer. They had we call them the Twin Towers inside. They bombarded them with decent ball, and you know, Paul Shanahan and Jack Butler did the business up front for them. They won ball, they created scores. Pádraig Green had a fabulous outing as well. So he ended up with, I think it was 2-8 or 2-9. So, you know, between frees and everything else. But, you know, Upperchurch really looked delighted there on the sideline. They're happy with their day's exploits. Drom will have a lot of, you know, they'll have to go away now and lick their wounds for the winter. They probably have a match left, you know, so they'll have to get themselves up for that. But at this stage, it looks like a real outside chance that they'll have any further part in the Dallenbreen this year, which is disappointing for them, you know, with the conveyor belt of hurlers they have coming through. But look, that's the way it goes. There can only be a winner. And, you know, the Church still have a tough task ahead of them the next day. They'll face down Sarsfields the next day, so you know they won't get much harder than that, but they'll be happy for today anyway to get the 2 points in the bag.
I suppose who stood out for you? We'll look at Upperchurch Drombane just as they were the victors today. We talked about him an awful lot, I suppose, throughout the game was Keith Ryan. I suppose we'll talk about him for a minute or two.
Yeah, he's a great young hurler coming through, and you know there was a lot of people wondering why he wasn't starting the last day. Maybe he was injured. We don't know what the inside track is, but by God, today he had some game. You also had Dean Carews was in around the full back line there. I thought he got a couple of fabulous blocks in. Kieran Short was as steady as a rock in the goals there. You know, you worked your way out then along. You had, you know, the likes of Pádraig Green at centre forward was really good. And, you know, for me, you had the big guns up front then with Paul Shannon. He didn't score today, but really he had a fabulous game. And you had Jack Butler as well. He got 2 and created a lot more as well. So all through, you know, they had great performances. On the other side then, you know, they were a little bit disjointed Drom. You know, they had John Campion at centre back. Towards the end, he ended up maybe wing forward. You know, people, they were being moved around a little bit. They didn't seem to have a steady an outfit as Upperchurch. But look, they tried their hearts out. Johnny Ryan was brilliant for them finishing up. I think he got about 6 points there. You know, he rolled back the years there. He's shoving on, but he showed that he has a lot to offer. Shamey tried his heart out as well. Didn't work out for him all the time, but he really had a good game too. You know, he didn't give up the ghost at any stage for them.
Brilliant. The thoughts there of Dennis Kelly. Thanks very much for your company here today. I've been Paul Jenkins. The final score here in Semple Stadium, Drom Inch 3-14, Upperchurch Drombane. Sorry, I'll have to do that once again for all the fans who are out there. It was Upperchurch Drombane 3-14, Drom Inch 1-17.